Dry bones in the valley, I'm rallying for the sage. Dry bones in the valley, living but underpaid. Holy Spirit, make your presence known. We need change. Holy Spirit, make your presence known. We feel shame. Holy Spirit, make your presence known. We need flames.
As hard as these words is simply just a canvas that I wrote on. Can't supplement the faith, no creatine, but it's so strong. In our youth, we used to hit the block, getting our roll on. Now we take the gospel to the blocks we so dope on. Those that tried to stop our faith, we told them so long. The rise of my people with these heathens trying to prolong. Been through so much, but we still gotta hold on. Like back when the lights was off, we turned the stove on. Searching for warmth in these cold streets. Oh, since we woke up the truth, we can't get no sleep. My thoughts so deep, trying to get my folks to see the picture, but we hitting rock bottom, trying to wrestle with the scriptures. It's crazy, demonic forces messing with your mental health. Got all five senses, but you still lack sense of self. Without the Lord, your life sagging. Go and get a belt, and like that old Jordan commercial, stop and get some help.
Please, W-A-K-E-U-P, open up your KJV. We shaking up the world so you can't stay asleep. When you open up your eyes, they see IUIC, we on our grind. Bring a light to the world, let a star shine. So we pray without ceasing for our kind. Gotta stack them up to the third heaven till we give Raphael a hard time.
Dead bodies, dead conscience, dead presidents, they said commas. But that's a coma, ain't it evident that's head trauma. They said a lot, but that's irrelevant. The devil been working overtime without the scheduling. The medicine prescribed, that's the word of my God. You'll never be alive unless you let the spirit inside. Vampires throw the shade on them, but daywalkers keep the blade on them. Get cut to the core, but never fade on them. Live again.
Out of your slumber, wake up out of your sleep, and receive His Spirit. You know I'm talking to the meek. Wake up out of your slumber, wake up out of your sleep, and receive His Spirit. You know I'm talking to the meek. Wake up out of your slumber, wake up out of your sleep, and receive His Spirit. You know I'm talking to the meek. Wake up out of your slumber, wake up out of your sleep, and receive His Spirit. You know I'm talking to the meek. Wake up out of your slumber, wake up out of your sleep, and receive His Spirit. You know I'm talking to the meek. Wake up out of your slumber, receive His Spirit. You know I'm talking to the meek. Wake up out of your slumber, wake up out of your sleep, and receive His Spirit. You know I'm talking to the meek. Wake up out of your slumber, wake up out of your sleep, and receive His Spirit. You know I'm talking to the meek.
I need it to go away. Joy comes with the morning light. Wipe the tears off of my face. After you do it, it's raining. It's raining. Open the blinds and fill the house up with light. My Bible shining. It brings the sun out at night. And I see the rain, and I need it to depart from my sight. You gotta hold the line in order to endure in this fight. And you know you gotta hold your head and gotta keep your chin high. It's a lot of pain we getting through in this life. Keep the laws and the faith in Christ, you'll be winning. You will be winning. You gotta hold your head and gotta keep your chin high. It's a lot of pain we endure in this life. Keep the laws and the faith in Christ, you'll be winning. You will be winning. When it's rain, rain, rain on my window pane, I feel the darkness outside. I need it to go away. Joy comes with the morning light. Wipe the tears off of my face. And you doing is raining. Doing is raining. Doing is raining. Doing is raining.
Open my eyes, call me to see. When I wanna cry, but can't let them see. I need strength, I need power, I need lightning, thunder showers. I need warmth when it gets cold, cause I've been warring for my soul. And it's been pouring, I won't fold, but it gets heavy and hard to hold. Lost in the dark, tearing apart. Then I remember that I was chose, son of the king. I gotta believe, I build up my faith. I gotta read, I gotta conquer. Never concede, not bending the knee, I stand on my feet. Gotta keep the laws and the faith in Christ. It's a lot of pain to endure in this life. See the clouds in the sky, rain coming. So I hold my head high, no more running. Planted, and I'm rooted in the spirit. Send up prayers, can you hear me? Lord, I need your healing, healing.
Rain, rain, rain on my window pane. I feel the darkness outside. I need it to go away. Joy comes with the morning light. Wipe the tears off of my face. And you doing is raining. Doing is raining. Doing is raining. Doing is raining. Rain, rain, rain on my window pane. I feel the darkness outside. I need it to go away. Joy comes with the morning light. Wipe the tears off of my face. Have you been doing is raining. Doing is raining. Doing is raining. Doing is raining. Baby daddy, baby mama, stuck in the middle lane, that's for this, so much drama. I blame myself for you leaving daddy, so much trauma. Gunshots rang out daily, a long summer. In the winter we ain't have coats, snowy days but we ain't have boots. A father's presence, a mother's love, it's like we couldn't never have both. A lost soul that's in need of saving. I pray to God for a better day. I find solace in the Holy Scriptures, cause I know that it's the only way. This is the sounds of oppression. This is the sounds of oppression. This is the sounds of oppression. This is the sounds of oppression.
Daddy, did you even try to stay with us? Baby mama, she didn't make it easy on ya. Sorrows is all I ever felt growing up. Now I'm grown, but I feel like I'm 5 when I think how you started a new life without us. Missing you, missing us, a family crumbled to dust. Was it worth it? Do you hurt like we're hurting now? These are our circumstances. Only this milk that I'm sipping on can correct it. Only the word of God. Forgive my daddy for walking away from us. Forgive my mama for her rage when she drank too much. Forgive them, please, cause they ain't ever daddy too. No child that they suffered abuse.
This is the sounds of oppression. 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 I need a blessing.
Trauma abundant with another. Why I do it? Why you do it? And I spent my last on another. Why I do it? Why you do it? It's amazing how looking for liberation cost me freedom. And the demons never stayed when I need them. When the rent due, thrown off, blown off by my own people. This oppression birth another non-believer. I just wanna feel real. But I'm getting numb to the high. Think I shed the last tear that I could cry. Question if it's best I die. Spirit dead inside. I just wanna rest. Hard to pass when I'm put to this test. The after effects got me not wanting to even see what's next. But deep down I wanna beat what's best. God's son, God's word, how I cope. I'm a prisoner of hope. Ain't been afloat since we got off the boat. Lord set me free.
Of oppression. This is the sounds of oppression. This is the sounds of oppression. This is the sounds of oppression. I need a blessing.
Father, won't you take me, hold me? I'm asking you to show me, show me. Father, you're the one and only. I know that you are worthy, worthy. 'Cause to die is my right to my life, and I will lay down my life for you. Lay down my life for you. 'Cause to die is my right to my life. It's a fight to the end. Fight to the end.
Yo. No greater love than losing my life for my people, than losing my life for my kinsmen, than losing my life for the kingdom. I want my sins forgiven, to live a life worth living. I just want to see our freedom. That's why my wheel's still spinning. I lived a life full of evil, many mistakes and I'm paying for it. Saw affliction since the beginning. Gotta win it 'cause I'm made for it and I prayed for it. Through the fire, got blazed for it. Came out shining with white raiment. Lost sleep many days for it and I'm saved for it. Like, had to lay down my life for my King Christ. I didn't have to think twice. Had to lay down my life. I didn't have to think twice for my King Christ. Double honors to the martyrs, double honors to our fathers. Revelation chapter 6. I seen the souls under the altar. Righteous blood won't vengeance, righteous blood won't penance, righteous blood crying out for the wicked man's sentence and his rulership ending.
Take me, hold me, I'm asking you to show me, show me. Father, you're the one and only. I know that you are worthy, worthy. 'Cause to die is my right to my life, and I will lay down my life for you. Lay down my life for you. 'Cause to die is my right to my life. It's a fight to the end. Fight to the end.
Color-coded in the cosmos with brown hues used on the canvas, wrapped and packaged that in fine gold. Damaged goods when we crash landed, batter beaters scattered across the globe. Among the nations cast away stranded, found a book, the mysteries of old. Now I know we never been abandoned, more than life or death, 'cause I'm living to die. No wonder why I've been facing these demons on every side, 'cause they want to keep me from seeing God. I know I'm his son 'cause I'm being tried, chastised, antagonized, almost met demise. Living legend used to live a lie, the glory coming cannot be described. So I had to lay down my life for my King Christ. I didn't have to think twice. Had to lay down my life. I didn't have to think twice for my King Christ. Heavenly calling, pick up the signal. Covered in stripes, I just need a whistle. Only a glimpse of the bigger picture, but wherever you going, I'm coming with you, cause redemption draweth nigh. Paradise is beyond the sky. To get to that place, then you gotta die. To come back when them chairs fly on high.
Father, won't you take me, hold me? I'm asking you to show me, show me. Father, you're the one and only. I know that you are worthy, worthy. Cause to die is my right to my life, and I will lay down my life for you, lay down my life for you. Cause to die is my right to my life. It's a fight to the end, fight to the end.
You came and died for me. It's just the love you have. Straight out of Calvary, yeah. It's just the love you have. Rose after Friday, amazing. You never doubted me. It's just the love you have for me. Yeah, me up. Made a life decision, got them looking funny. Now they don't want me around me. Cutting folks out like the leaves on a tree. Cause I be 10 toes deep. Wasn't for the Lord, I probably never found me. Wasn't for the Lord, I'd be stuck on Pine Street. Wasn't for the Lord, I'd probably out by 6. Wasn't for the Lord, I'd be stuck in that mix. Wasn't for the Lord, I'd be down like shit. Wasn't for the Lord, I'd be on my ass. Just back then, couldn't pay my rent. Wasn't for the Lord, I'd be on my ass. It's okay, grab my hand. That's what he told me, he had a plan. I remember then I had no chance, but I looked up and I got an advance. I was trying to fight all the sins.
It's that time again.
Hour plus.
Yeah, la hora. You know, power hour. Ponle atención, class is in session. Tune in for an hour, maybe more, that's a blessing. Learn from the captains and the leadership. Bleed from religion, cause them churches never teaching shit. Everything you learn for your benefit. Line upon line is a requisite. Never take a deficit, yeah. That mean you take a loss if you stray from the way. You get the understanding if you study every day. Apply what you learn and bless when you pray. There's one interpretation, man, it say what it say. Ya viene el tiempo, entra para el templo. Aprende del maestro con talento. La Biblia es el centro, usando a Israel como instrumento. No te pierdas en doctrina como viento. Estudia y ora y aplica. Tiempo para Dios, ven, hace una cita. Escritura dinamita, morenos y hispanos israelitas. Oye cómo explica Israel unido en Cristo para la vida, nunca se divida. Tune in, it's the power hour. Learn your family history, don't be a coward. Yeah. Tune in, it's the power hour. I said learn your family history, don't be a coward.
Yeah, history to learn. It's the power hour. The 11th hour. Tune in to your history. You know it ain't history. Power hour. The 11th hour. You gonna get to history. 11th hour.
Rockin' with the deacon while you waiting on the weekend. From the tribe of Ethan with the home Puerto Rican. That's a byword, those ain't names, it's God-given. Fighting from oppression to saving all guys chilling, giving light to the people. Don't let the devil beat you when you have at your disposal all these leaders that can teach you how to fight fornication, eat in moderation, correcting all these marriages and self-examination. All these different topics getting covered plus a lot more. You're probably sleeping if you're thinking this is not war. All these different topics getting covered plus a lot more. Just tune in and we gon' tell you what to watch for. Yeah, the power hour. You know, it's the power hour. Yeah, the power hour. Yeah.
Just,
Shalom, shalom. Welcome to the Power Hour Plus.
yeah.
I am Deacon Joshua.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Officer.
You know what? I can't wait till I have the buttons by me.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
Because I'm going to push the buttons.
Push
That's
your
right.
button.
That's
I'm going
right.
to push the buttons.
That's right.
I know. He was just excited the first day. Like, it was all colorful. And,
And did he?
Yeah,
he
until I heard the sound
but
effects and how trash
we
they
got to
are.
label the shit for
That's
me.
true.
Because I'm old.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
that part of my language.
They should be
we got to label the stuff.
They should be labeled regardless.
We got to label the stuff for me.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm
like
wasn't
these
it. That
here,
wasn't
we
it's
need
gonna be all
we
me.
need more. We need something stronger. We need bombs.
It's going to be all me.
Right.
We need some specific
me.
ones too.
It's going to be all me.
You know, like some sound bites from
I'm going
D.
to mess with, damn, my forehead looks shiny as.
Hello.
What is that? See, we're going to have the new camera angles too, so they're
Right.
not going to see my hairline.
Oh damn.
Right.
They're not going to see my wig pushed back.
Dang.
Yep.
Got a weird pushback. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
but, you know what?
Speaking of wigs.
it's recovered a little bit. You know, as I've like got the sleep back level again a little bit, and you know, got the nutrition a little more in check, little by little. Big difference, man. Makes you feel different. It's good. It's good. And I still get to indulge a little bit. You know, I had a little pizza today.
Pizza,
You know?
pizza.
Had a little pizza.
Had that dough.
You know what, man? The place that they changed though, they went downhill. I don't know that I want to go back there. I went for my son because he likes the Sicilian slices. That's like the square joints. They're a little thicker, and this was common in New York. And that's the only place that sells them by the slice by us. The other spot that I think is better pizza now, but I'm just so disappointed, bro. And then you know, man, I make some good pizza, but it's very labor intensive.
I was about to say, because I think that's some of the best pizza I done had. That wood fire grill.
that's
It's
some
the
good stuff.
prep.
Okay.
But the cook is a minute, you know, maybe 6 at most, depending
Right.
on what I'm doing, what style. It's the prep,
The dough and like the sauce.
the dough and the sauce. Yeah, because I like, you know, some people are up in the air. Some people cook their sauce, some don't. I like a thicker sauce, so I cook it down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I feel like if you just throw it on there, it's watery unless you strain it.
Right.
And that's just extra steps and everything. So just different ways, different styles. But it's the prep that's a pain.
Okay.
It's the prep, you know. And I gotta hook up the gas to my pizza oven
Mm-hmm.
because although the wood is nice, that's a pain too. You gotta wait 30 minutes for it to get to temp. Then you gotta keep stoking the wood in between.
It's
They gotta get
laborious,
to,
but
like,
it's worth it.
700, right?
And I don't know what it is by Arizona, but the flies are aggressive out here.
Man.
I used to think it was because my dog and I had the dog run on the side, but like he been gone and damn. So I
Still
can't
there.
because if I could prep outside, like I wanted to get another table, just boom boom, throw them in the
Yeah.
oven. Great, I can't do that out here.
Aggressive ass fly.
Yeah,
Aggressive
bro, they
flies,
crazy.
man.
They
Angry
fly,
flies.
they fly right into your mouth, your
Yeah.
face,
Ooh.
land on you, yep,
Yeah.
snuffing you. They just boom, hit you in the head.
They
just-
hit you with the 2 piece of the biscuit.
Yeah, man, them flies is crazy out
God
here.
Dang.
I ain't never seen some aggressive flies like that.
Oh, have mercy.
Yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, so the pizza just, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I was disappointed today. Disappointed.
Hey.
Yeah. I gotta make mine soon. You know what it is when it's hot outside too. I'm not trying to
Right.
Yeah, because it got to get up
be
to
out
like
there. but
700 degrees.
Yeah, sometimes it be running as high as like 9.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, I'm next to a 900 degree oven.
Dang.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. But I gotta buy some pizza. Well, y'all gotta let me know what y'all want this year.
Right.
If y'all want pizzas again, wings, or if you want,
know,
or if you want beef.
You know, I'm always with that whiskey.
Y'all killed them wings, bro. The last time.
God dang
think-
it,
I
them
think
wings.
Them things was gone in like 10 minutes,
It
bro.
was over with.
Well, you know, black people were there, so
Hey,
of course
and
they
that was my
devoured
first
that.
time doing some of those sauces.
Really?
Yeah, that was my first time doing the sauces.
So you Chef Boyardee.
Oh,
I like to mess around. I just don't have the time to do it. I think if I had more time and see, but I'm one of those that I like to have all the instruments, all the tools,
Yeah.
like all the cookware.
Yeah.
So like
With
I
your
don't
thermometers
just,
and all
right.
that?
So
Apron.
and my wife hates it.
You all
because-
scientific.
because I bring everything out.
Yeah.
I mean, they say that's the right way to do it. You should have everything pre-measured
Yeah.
and everything out because as you're going,
He said that hot honey was
something
fire.
could happen, you know. Oh, who said that?
That was,
Hot honey?
that was
oh, that's
authentic.
right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did. That's right. I did the pepperoni with the ricotta and the hot honey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
I know.
You a technological chef.
I know. So y'all
Chef
gotta let me know. This.
Boyardee.
Y'all gotta let me know. Lord's will live last. What y'all want this year? If
I
you
like
if you
that.
want brisket or tri-tip,
I think
or,
I'll always say pizza. You know, it's just
or pizza.
it's very
or
exquisite
wings.
because it takes time, but it's like fresh and it just the
It's
pizza's
something
the
in
best.
it's something in the brisket though. Like it's a lot of love and intense care
Now,
in
yeah,
that brisket.
yeah, I agree,
I
but
think I just got the hand now right for it.
Yeah.
because a lot of people, I don't know. I just think you got to be aggressive on seasoning that thing.
With some mac and cheese.
And I think us as a people, like we so scared of salt and seasoning sometimes.
We are the salt.
Right?
Dang it.
So, but not with chicken.
Yeah, no.
But but I think with everything else, especially meat, I think that's why a lot of Southern Kingdom don't like beef. Like steaks and stuff, they don't be ordering steak when y'all go. If it's not barbecue,
It's chicken.
Man.
y'all don't be ordering stuff like that.
Well, I'm not y'all. Because
Yeah,
I damn sure
I like me a steak.
I need a New York script.
Yeah, like you got to be aggressive when you season beef. You got to be aggressive, especially a brisket. That's a big hunk of meat. You got to be aggressive when you season that.
Yeah.
So I just make sure I throw that thing on. I feel like salt, you always got to be careful. But I feel like with every other season that you're putting on it, if you're doing pepper, garlic, brown sugar, whatever, like you almost can't overdo it. And let me not say that because I know there's some morons out there that'll chew on it.
What about some tomahawk tacos?
But why tomahawk? I must pay all that money for the bone. I just buy. You know what I do? You buy a rib roast instead.
Okay.
And do it that way. I don't know. I remember one time I was gonna do brisket tacos. That's different though. You don't do that on the grill. When you're doing brisket tacos, you do that like in the pressure cooker or you slow cook it.
Okay.
For the strip.
So that it shreds apart.
It just shreds.
Yeah.
Just
That's how you're
shredded beef
supposed to go.
tacos.
That'd be
You
a little
ever
easier.
made birria? You ever mess with birria?
I have a recipe I want to try. I've never put my hand to it.
That'd be pretty good.
I'm
That might be a
afraid.
good
I'm
experiment.
afraid it'll be good, and all the Issachars are gonna curse me out.
Yeah. Oh man.
Because what the hell are Ephraimite doing making birria?
I mean,
I don't know.
Well, have we looked into the etymology of birria? It might not even be Mexicans. It might be somebody else. Have we actually looked at the etymology of who made birria? Because we found out about the barbecue.
I saw something the other day. They were saying like Mexican cuisine I don't know. There's like some organization that called it like a global treasure or something like that.
Oh, yeah?
Listen, I think it can be really good.
That's right.
But I think like the basic stuff is what most people eat.
yeah.
And I guess that gets tired because I know there was one restaurant we went to in Mexico that was seafood themed. Were you with us in Mexico City?
Yeah. Definitely.
And remember how freaking good that place was? You know what place I'm talking
Nah, you gotta
about?
remind
Where
me.
they G'd Abiel with half the fish head?
Dang
Oh, wait, that was Mexico City?
That was Mexico City. And we went twice there because it was that good, where they had the smoked salmon and everything.
I slightly remember that one. Yeah.
So it was seafood themed, but it was Mexican. It was really good.
Was that the one with the bus outside?
It was
The
like
big old bus?
You could tell it was like the
that was
fancy.
Panama.
You could tell it
Okay.
was it was like upstairs. It was like in a corporate little looking thing. Everybody was in suits, and we went up the elevator, and we had to walk to the back.
I know I got pictures.
And you
man.
can't
now
even
you got
remember.
me. Yeah, now you got me wanting to look.
Yeah,
Are you sure that was Mexico City though?
that was Mexico City. But trust me,
Okay.
with food,
You know.
I'm gonna remember distinctly.
Okay, here's Mexico City. I'm looking.
I'm surprised. I was never like 250, 300 pounds at my height because the worst I was 199.
Sheesh.
It was 199. But even then, like it looked like I work out. But it also looked like I don't say no to cake.
DC's true. But this was true. This was true.
That was true. That was true. But yeah, I don't know. I got some Ephraim recipes in reserve I want to try. Like I want to do like a fusion with it's just hard to get the ingredients for like our thing with
I
Ephraim is
found it.
sofrito. And it's hard to get like you can't find the peppers. You got to like order them online. There's like a certain pepper we have, ají dulce, we got to use.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when they G'd them on that, but that place was good.
So this is Miguel Hidalgo. Well, that's where we were.
Yeah.
Molino del Rey.
Yeah. I see I was stalling for more people to come in.
Right.
So I was talking about the food.
No, I caught it.
Okay, all right. Oh, so they here now. They here. I don't know. They forgot that it's the Power Hour.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Come
We're
on,
usually higher than this.
I know we only got 200 and only 110
110
likes.
likes.
Come
So-
we had
now,
200
dog.
watching and only 110 likes. Hit the like.
And share that thing, man. What's out?
man.
All right, now we rising. Now we rising.
Right. Hey, so we gotta do what we do. We got a little bit of we got some health stuff to go over for you. I was thinking the other day we haven't done the marriage moments, but I think
We
it's
have not.
but I think it's because we've been going in on the health and we get questions on it, and then by that point, like I got to get to the topics because
Right.
I got stuff to. Oh snap!
That was in Mexico City too.
That was Mexico City.
Yeah.
That looked good. That's a nice looking cheesecake right there.
No, I know.
Damn.
I know. I like
Oh, have
remember.
mercy.
Oh, that's dope. That was dope.
Yeah.
That was dope.
That was really dope.
That was dope. Yep. Anyway, So hey, make sure y'all get them likes up, all right? That it matches who's in here. Make sure that you share on social media that we live. We got a interesting topic for you once we get to the main topic, right? The empire without borders, how the U.S. rules the world like Assyria and Rome. We're gonna break it down for you, and this is like little thoughts of. I'm probably gonna do Lord's Will Live last. I'm trying to see when I can do it. I want to do an Escape the Hella Day because I want to go over my Hellenism stuff, but like in detail, like in detail without having to cut it short, and with the Northern Kingdom twist where I want to show how it's so heavy in Northern Kingdom and all the stuff that happened in our countries. So this would actually be a component of that when I get to it, because I still have the notes from that, which I'd probably run back because I think some of that went over people's heads because I had to go fast in the time, and then I couldn't finish it. And then I'm kind of building little stuff. So you brothers remember when I talk about this, because I might need some of the stuff we showed today for that as well. So, hey, right, that's what I'm saying. I'm 5'4", so that's why I say 250 would be crazy for me. Even 200 was kind of a lot.
Dang, that's a big man in a little coat.
200 was a lot. Although I don't know if you ever seen the bodybuilder Lee Priest.
Oh yeah, that dude's
in
crazy.
In his prime, he was 5'4".
Yeah,
they called him Superman. So not because of his height, but his proportions and everything were crazy. Like, bro, he had like 22 or 23-inch biceps on a 5'4" frame.
Yeah,
that's
that
insane.
dude was crazy.
Wow. Yeah. But Lee Priest when he was young.
Yep. I used to
ridiculous.
I used to take his workout regimens and copy them.
Yeah, bro. Like he was. See, the only thing, those workout regimens, they're juice.
Well, they're juice, but I thought they
don't really translate well.
Yeah, he did a lot of compound movements and all that, so I thought they were pretty cool for the time.
I mean,
I switched it up now.
You don't look like Lee Priest.
Well, that's when I was 15. Well, no, but I'm not
like
juicing,
Wee Priest.
He look like Lee Priest.
He look like Lee Priest.
Oh man, yo, that's disrespectful. Lee Priest son. Oh shoot.
Hey,
that was too far.
Take it away, Ruben.
All praises. Hey, shalom, Most High in Christ. Bless everybody. Y'all know what time it is. Let's get some of this housekeeping out the way. And we're going to start with the scent of the night. Toga Toby?
Yes, sir. Classic barbershop.
Classic barbershop. That's a staple for you right there, right?
That thing.
That's a really good scent, though.
Yeah.
It's a really good scent. I'm low on it. I'm probably almost running out, but I might let some of them run out so I could try some of the other ones.
Right.
I just found a whole bunch of testers though, the 10 milliliters, like in almost every scent.
Testers be hitting.
Right. Some of them been probably stagnant too long though. Like as I open some of them, like I gotta, like sometimes you can shake it up because they like it separates and it'll come back.
Okay.
So I recommend that. Like if you've had your bottle for a little while, shake it up and it'll kind of bring it back to life. Before you use it, but it doesn't stay in solution for after a while. So. Okay. I might have to trash them, but literally, if I show you the picture, like I have almost all of the testers.
It's like 29 of them, deep.
I have almost all of them. I had them in a box. I was like organizing my bathroom and my sink area and stuff, and I found a bunch of them. Dang. I found a bunch, yeah. So I might rock with those for a little while.
Okay,
I might see what's up.
What you got going on?
I got the
beard guy,
tobacco vanilla.
Okay.
But you know what? The last one that I had on, the cherry one, what's it called again? The
cherry tobacco?
Cherry tobacco. Man, that one is excellent.
Yes, Don't we have cherry vanilla too?
Yes. Cherry vanilla, no.
I thought we did.
We got tobacco vanilla.
Tobacco vanilla.
And we got
we
got a couple of other vanillas.
We got it's very manly as well. The cherry one is very manly, and
the cherry's nice. That's a real nice one. That one's good. Yeah, I'm rocking clean slate.
Clean slate, okay.
Clean slate. I like that one. I've been rotating that one in a lot. That and amber sandalwood.
Amber.
Amber sandalwood.
Yeah,
Can't go wrong with the sandalwood.
I've been using those two quite a bit.
I
backed off cognac and Cubans for a little bit.
So did I, because you got the bourbons.
I think what happens is like when you use it too much, it doesn't hit the
same.
It don't
hit the right.
So that alone is reason to kind of diversify your scents. You know?
I mean, you got 29 of them, so you can do your thing. You know what I mean?
One is unscented. It's just the oil to help.
Oh, really? You got an unscented one?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's just 28 really, but
right. I got the amber sandalwood.
Nice.
It's a staple now, So yeah. Hey, check this out. If y'all don't know, When you use MBD, your beard is gonna grow.
That's right.
All right. When you all these brothers in here, I'm looking at testimonials on each and every last one of these men. In here.
He's starting to come in.
He's starting to come in over there. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So, brothers,
getting back on the derma rolling and all that. I'm trying to get back in the game.
You got to comb your joint though, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No,
Looking
not
like a
up there. You
vagabond.
hardly got anything up there. There you should brush.
What are we talking about?
You're all
Where?
tangled and weird over here.
Oh,
You gotta
well,
comb
no,
and
yeah,
even
that's
that
because
out.
today I was doing an install job, and these drywall guys was doing a bunch of freaking cleaning and all that shit went in my. Oh, sorry.
What about all the other days?
Damn it.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, we are talking about the beard oil scents. We have a little scent of the night. We're talking about the beard oil scents. So yeah, distinguished is very distinguished.
Very distinguished. Yeah, it is. Hey, and check this out. Don't forget right now on originalroyalty.com, we got them 12 tribe shirts. We go show y'all a couple of little photos we got right now. Let's get that photo reel going. IT.
Yeah, them things are nice. Things are nice.
And go.
I'm about to get more than one, like while I'm waiting for laundry to be done.
Yeah. And go. Hey, and check this out too. You don't just have to get your tribe.
Just keep going through them.
Yeah,
brothers.
just click the thing, man. Oh my goodness. You don't have to just get your tribe. Rep all the tribes of your tribe. If you in the tribes.
That's it. That's it.
Hey, do we get any of the ones that we took so they could see?
We
we
got-
the AI is great. I wonder. If
We got some of them. I'll bring them next week.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that looks good. The GAD one, that one is
Uh-huh.
excellent. That GAD one, oh, you're gonna love the
Yeah,
GAD one.
GAD is fire.
You're gonna love
Ash
it.
is a little underwhelming.
Yeah, unfortunately. Nice tree though.
It's a nice tree.
Even if Tally got the forest in the back, that one's slick, man. I like that
Tally
one.
look dope.
I like that one a lot.
That's like he in the
that's
Andes right now.
That's a powerful hind.
Yeah.
That's chili right there, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Andes back
That's what I'm
there.
saying. He
That's
look like
chili.
in the Andes.
That's the
Chile,
Andes, man.
that's
We was
Chile.
close to that joint too.
Yeah, man, that's dope. All praises. What else you got?
All praise. That's it. That's what we got for tonight.
That's what you got for tonight.
Oh, wait. Coming up in about 2 weeks, we got a fringe sale coming up. All right. 30% off on bullion and brush fringes at
Oh my gosh,
originalroyalty.com.
30%?
That's right. 30%.
I agree to that.
You did. And everything must go, doggone it.
30%.
So that's where we at. All right.
Yeah, we trying to clear out a little bit so we could bring in, we want to bring you. I'm not going to say what we're going to bring because people like
Yeah.
to copy what we're doing, but we want to bring some fresh takes to the fringes. Can't even preview stuff out here, boy. People, they try to be first to market.
Claude, have mercy.
It's all right, but you could be first to market and not have, not
It's
have the
something.
goods.
It's something in the original royalty.
It's something,
Right.
right.
It's a swag in there.
Right. That's that originality, right? That's originality. So we're gonna transition to some health stuff before we get into the main piece of the topic. All right. Put up what we got on the health stuff, please. There was one. Oh, the one about the chemicals. I said, why are you showing me, sis? That's not all the stuff that I had from. There was like more than that. No. Oh, now they gonna make me go to the chat.
Claude, have mercy.
These guys. I even put it in there. So we're gonna go from here. It was more than 3 videos, bro. I'm pretty sure.
We saw that one
Guys,
already too.
I knew something was wrong because nobody was liking or responding. Normally I put the stuff and they'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Damn. Let me go up. Where did I say? I said this, all of this from here have ready. We should have 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be 4 videos. And there's one where it says food chemicals. Should be 4 videos. And it might not be a video, actually. I'm looking at it now. One of them's a slideshow, a Instagram slideshow. There we go. Thank you. That's the 4th. So, everybody talks about food chemicals. Ooh.
Dun dun dun.
Number 5. That has so many chemicals in it. Let me hip you to something. All right? We're going to read this so you can get your mind right. And here's the thing. You got to understand something. I am not against the intention of a lot of these things. It's just that these are the small things that are not going to move the dial for you. And typically, I'm not saying everybody, but typically, the people who harp on this stuff are some of the ones that are still not healthy. They're still not at their goals. They have all types of other things foundationally that are off with the exercise, with the sleep, right? Some of them even with the foundation of the spirituality with the scriptures, right? And they're so married to some of this stuff, and it's just you hear something that meets your bias, and then you run with it, and then it's frustrating because it's like, and I remember for a lot of years I just took it and I said, a lot of people identify with this stuff. If I say something, they're gonna say I'm bugged out, this, that, and the other. But I can't take it no more.
Doggone it.
Which is why I started talking about the health stuff. All right. Let's read this about the chemicals. Let's go.
Lane Norton. There are too many people worried about chemicals and not enough people who have taken basic chemistry. Everything is a chemical.
Everything is a chemical, right? If you really think about it, right? What you're really thinking of when you say chemicals, if you're thinking of artificial, man-made, synthetic stuff, right? That's what you're thinking of. Sometimes what you see on an ingredient list are the scientific names for vitamins, minerals, seasonings,
the compounds,
the different compounds that's in something, and it's not something synthetic. So they'll go and they'll be like, look at what's in a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and look at a list. And a lot of that is the chemical names of things that are natural. Right? And I'm going to show you that. Go ahead, come on.
The reality is anything can be made to sound scary if I told you all the chemicals that make it up.
Listen to that part well. Listen well, brothers and sisters. Anything can be made to sound scary. And this is what happens with a lot of those influencers that's out there. And they say, oh, it has this. Meanwhile, it's a vitamin. It's like, you moron. If you'd have looked it up, that's the name of a freaking vitamin.
That's
crazy. You know what I'm saying? Anything can be made to sound scary if I told you all the chemicals that make it up. Right? Go ahead. Come on.
That's right. Even natural foods would sound scary if you haven't had basic chemistry. People fear what they don't understand. And most people don't understand basic chemistry.
And I think that's the biggest thing. And I think that's one of the other reasons why I said I got to talk about some of this stuff that I am familiar with. I by no means think that I'm an expert, but, I don't just take things at face value most of the time. And, I think, I reflect, and I make sure that I don't let my biases not let me look at something objectively, right? This is why I say I could look at science and see that it supports the scripture and not say that it's opposed to scripture. Well, some of it, right? Some of it does try to oppose scripture, right? And that's why I apply what it says in Timothy is about oppositions of science, falsely so-called. So if there's something in science that opposes what the scripture says, then no, I'm not going with it, right? I'm gonna reconcile it with the scriptures and then go from there. But go ahead, come on.
Next slide. Let's look at the chemicals in a common food. OMG. Who would ever put all these chemicals in their body?
So he's going to show you the makeup. We're going to read some of this, all right? And I know it's going to seem tedious and monotonous, but we're going to read it. And I'm going to let you know what food this is. And if they listed the ingredients this way, you would not eat this common food. Go ahead, come on.
Water. Sugars, 12% glucose, 48% fructose, sucrose, 2%, maltose, starch, fiber, amino acids, glutamic acid, aspartic acid.
Ooh, acid burns.
Aspartame,
Ooh, go ahead, come on.
Histidine, leucine, lysine, phenylalanine, arginine, valine, alanine, serine, glycine, threonine, isoleucine, proline, tryptophan.
Oh my gosh, tryptophan.
Oh gosh.
Cysteine,
tyrosine, methine,
methionine.
Yeah, all of that. Fatty acids, palmatic acid, omega-6 fatty acid, linoleic acid, omega-3 fatty acid,
linoleic, that's it, sorry.
Acid, oleic acid, palmitoleic acid, stearic acid, lauric acid, myristic acid, capric acid, ash, phytosterols, exolic acid, E300, E306, lactose.
Did you miss E515? You missed
Yeah,
E515. Uh-huh.
E515.
E306, tocopherol. Go ahead, come on.
Phylloquine. None.
Phylloquinone.
Thiamine. Colors, yellow-orange, E101. Riboflavin. Yellow-brown, E160A. Flavors, 3 methylbute, 1
Methylbutyl. L-thanoate, 2-methylbutyl. L-thanoate, 2-methylpropon. 1-ol, 3-methylbutyl, 1-ol. Look at his freaking chemicals.
Oh, my
Hydroxy,
gosh.
3-methylethyl,
Not hydroxy.
butanoate, 3-methylbutanol, ethylhexanate. Oh my God, that sounds
Oh,
crazy.
gosh.
Ethylbutanoate, penyl acetate, 51510,
And
natural ripening
agent.
agents. Also,
Ethylene gas.
I wonder what that is. It says water, 70.
Come
I don't
on.
understand what this is. What is this?
Come on, let me show you what this is. Chemicals.
What if I told you that what was a list of chemicals in an organic banana?
An organic banana.
Oh my gosh.
That's
never
what
thought.
makes up the chemical structures of an organic banana.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Of an organic banana. What the hell is this?
That's wild.
Somebody bugged out just reading all this.
Somebody was freaking
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
as we were reading all that. Saying, "Oh my
Especially those
God,
last
what is
words.
this?
Methyl
It's all the chemicals in there."
I thought it was organic.
That's what makes up a banana.
Right.
Crazy.
So am I saying that the banana is some made up thing or whatever? No. That's the structure of a banana. That's the levels of when the Most High made stuff.
Man,
Right,
for
right.
real.
Right.
That's the chemical makeup.
The
Of
mixture
what it is.
elements
The
and all
DNA
that stuff
of
of
it.
what it is.
Right.
That's the DNA of the
That's some
banana.
heavy stuff.
Dang it.
But because you don't understand that and you don't know, and nor should you have to,
Right. His ways
you
above
freak
your
out
ways.
when you see
Yeah.
those ingredients on a
Yep.
package.
We feel what we don't know.
Right.
But because produce is not packaged that way, you go, okay. Like, so it goes back to my point. Sometimes something might have seasonings or vitamins or something, and it has the chemical name of it, and you go, oh my gosh, that has too many chemicals, right? Oh, there's too many ingredients on that package, so I can't eat that, right?
Right.
And I'm not saying ultra-processed foods are not good for you. They're not good for you. Do you know why they're not good for you? Not because of the chemicals that are in them, because they're designed to make you keep eating them.
got that cracking.
So you overeat. They're filled with things that stimulate overeating, right? And I'm not. Yes, there are some food dyes. There are some synthetic things that are in certain things that, in large quantities, can be bad for you,
Large quantities.
right? And if that's the makeup of your diet, then it could be problematic. But the real issue with ultra processed foods is that they dysregulate yourself as far as being able to control your appetite. They make you want to eat more, so they're never satiating enough, and then you want to eat more and more of them. We spoke about this with the Oreos, the chips, the different types of foods, right?
Right.
That's why fast food's so addicting. You'll feel
Right.
so hungry right after, so on and so forth. Go ahead, keep reading.
So why are there so many chemicals in it? Because everything is a chemical.
Literally.
Yes, that's supposed
Literally
to be in
everything
there.
is
That's the
chemical.
point that I'm making, because everything is made up of chemicals.
You made up of chemicals.
You made up of chemicals. That is the chemical makeup of a banana. That's all the vitamins and nutrients and amino acids and everything, the fatty acids,
Sugars and all that.
the sugars. Oh my gosh, but it has fructose. It's a freaking banana. It has glucose. That's like a. Go ahead, come on.
There are toxic chemicals in there too. OMG. Toxic if you consume 10,000 bananas
Yes,
at a
so
time.
some of the things that are in there, in the quantities,
yeah.
could make you sick. But you would need to eat 10,000 bananas for it to be toxic to you.
Cloud, have mercy.
Go ahead. That's why you have influencers that say this is
at
a toxic
time.
thing.
At a time.
At a time, right. Not
Not
10,000
in your
over
lifetime.
your lifetime.
Right. At a time.
At a time. Go ahead, come on.
Because anything is toxic in a high enough dose.
Uh-huh.
The dosage makes the
Remember
Right.
that part. Anything is toxic in a high enough dose. Even herbs and herbal medicine
Oh, yeah.
can be highly dangerous to some people, especially if you don't know what's going on in yourself.
Surfating.
Right?
That's what they're doing.
Right. It can be dangerous to you. Go ahead, come on.
Take the case of dihydrogen monoxide.
Uh-huh.
It kills 250,000 people each year.
The chemical dihydrogen monoxide kills 250,000 people a year.
2 hydrogen.
It's an industrial solvent.
It's an industrial solvent. They use it in industry as a solvent. Go ahead, come on.
It's present in nuclear waste. If
Come
you
on.
consume too much, it can cause nausea, vomiting. And if you consume 10 times more than the recommended amount, it can kill you. I'm talking about water.
That was crazy work.
I like how they
and I've said this
presented it.
before.
Yeah.
Water can kill you.
Yeah.
Water's chemical name is called dihydrogen monoxide.
That's right.
And it's used in. So you see how you can position anything and make it sound bad?
Scary.
Right.
And
the
scary,
unlearned.
Yeah.
right? To the unlearned. Go ahead, come on.
Most people
But you're going to learn on this show.
Right.
Go ahead, come on.
Most people do not understand these concepts. Anything can be non-toxic in a small enough dose. Virtually anything can be toxic in a high enough dose. It is the dosage that makes the poison. We need to stop fear-mongering, chemicals, and foods. Instead, we need to focus on direct evidence regarding whether individual foods or chemicals have positive or negative effects on human health. Outcomes in the amounts typically consumed.
Is that it? That all he had on that? There's no more slide? All right. And that's the point, right? You gotta look at that. You gotta understand that. Don't automatically, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, read your labels, but just because you don't understand the words that are on there, don't
Right.
assume that it's junk or it's bad or whatever it might be.
That's it.
Understand what it is and you'll know, right? I mean, how many of you knew that gelatin was harmful to us before you learned this truth that most gelatin is porcine? What would you
Right.
do if you saw porcine gelatin? Do you know what? Do most people know what that is?
No.
It means it's derived from pork.
You need that bovine.
But if you see bovine, right? And then if it's fish, they say fish. I don't think they have another term. There's fish gelatin too.
That's bovine. What's that one?
That's
Cow.
from a cow.
Oh, that's cow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cow gelatin. That's cow gelatin. So like sometimes you'll want to buy a supplement
Yeah.
and it'll say gelatin. You can call and ask them the source, or sometimes you'll look it up and they'll have it. Some companies take the extra step and they'll note it on their label that it's bovine gelatin.
Yep.
So like there's some things that I'll call, and I think like, so for example, the fish oil that I take, it says bovine gelatin on the label, right? And I know that means that it's derived from cows. So it's cow bones.
So, D, check this out. I chat GPT the makeup of honey, which is something that we all consume and we deem to be healthy, especially like Manuka honey, whatever.
Oh, so you like this? Now you're messing with it, huh?
Yeah. So check this out. Just out.
What's your chat GPT's name?
Yeah, what's his name?
I don't have a name for it yet.
You ain't
I have
real.
yet
You ain't
to
real.
I have yet to develop a relationship.
Do you have a
that deep.
female voice or a male voice for your voice one?
Mine's a male.
Okay. I got a brother. He's mellow.
Yeah, oh, your brother?
Yeah, he's mellow.
Yeah, mine's like a real like prestige guy. He'd be like, he got it, you know?
Okay.
But check this out. This is the makeup of honey, right? But you wouldn't think. Quercetin, camphorol, apinogen, penosembrin, galangin, chrysin, letolin. Now, these are the compounds that are powerful in antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, and contribute to
The
honey's taste and color.
polyphenols. Those are the good things.
Right.
Polyphenols. Yep.
That's just one of the many. There's a whole list. I'm not going to go through it all.
Yeah.
But when you read this stuff, you thinking like, damn,
That's finna kill
what the
me.
hell is that? That's going to kill me. But that's honey. And honey's actually good for you in a regular dose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's
I mean,
crazy.
some
That's
people
crazy.
are allergic, so outside of allergies.
Oh, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
But too much honey can be bad for you because
That's
guess
right.
guess
That's
what
right.
your body breaks it down to?
Sugar.
Sugar. No, but it's different sugar. It's still sugar. There's an added benefit that it has polyphenols versus table sugar that has nothing. It's just sweetener.
Yeah.
But so we're demonizing things because we don't understand it, and you need to be able to know what you're looking at, and and part of that is the labels, right? Like they could be a little better,
Right.
and some of them are like sometimes you'll see that and they'll break it up. And here's another little tip: what the first ingredients are, the order that they're listed in, that's what they have more of. So you saw how the banana was 75% water.
Yeah.
So then you know that
Dang.
it's 75% of that's
And
water.
Sugar was next.
Right. And then sugars were 12%, right? And this is why I was telling you the different makeups, right? And what percentage was in there, right?
Because even the colors, like the yellow orange, that's why it has that certain
Yes.
tint to it.
Yeah. What is that, Deke? Like the red number 5? Like what is that?
No,
exactly?
that's synthetic. So
Yeah.
if it's like red
that's
dye
synthetic.
40, red
Gotcha.
number yellow this,
your Skittles
that's
and
synthetic.
M&Ms
Yeah.
and stuff.
They'll try to use like other natural things now. So a lot of times they'll use like carrots to get a red color. They're trying to use
The
different things.
cabbage for the purple.
Blueberries to get a bluish, cabbage for purple. So people that are moving to that, they'll try to use that, and then that gives the color now away from right. And then even then, like I said, the whole idea is like of consuming something synthetic. You're like, oh my gosh, but I mean, you're breathing in pollutants all day, every day.
Environmental toxins.
Environmental toxins, like stuff that you touch, and you can't avoid it unless you live in a bubble. And your body, the Lord has made us. Remember, the body heals itself. The Lord has made us a certain way to handle a certain load of those things. It's when things get excessive. They go beyond dose, and then your lifestyle's just not conducive to healthiness as you age and the lifespan. You start to get, and as long as you don't have a predisposition, because then there's genetic things as well.
Right.
Then my point is that it's not always as simple as, oh, it's the chemicals, don't eat that. Right. Like, it's not, you have to understand the processes behind these things and what moves them. And, should your diet, I've said this before, your diet shouldn't be made up of ultra processed foods exclusively, right? Most of it should be whole foods. Like, they're the basic stuff that you combine to make a meal, right? But the reality is most of us like the convenience. And if it's eating out or if it's even at home and you buy these ready meals, just know. So when you look at the label, educate yourself and try to see, and then you'll make smarter choices that way. That still doesn't outweigh how much just being in a healthy weight range and having good sleep and moderate exercise. You don't even got to be crazy like some of us that are like so fanatical about it. And those things will go a long way in keeping you healthy, resistant. And then when you do consume things that you like, you're not all, you know what I'm saying? Like, I eat McDonald's once in a while, but those things don't make up a steady portion of my diet. You know what I'm saying? Consistent. Like it's not consistent. I'll, Taco Bell I don't eat often at all, but sometimes I want, because it just
slaps that cantina menu
on the way out.
Right.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Me and Rue has some Carl's Jr.
I'm talking about once every few years is if I might have a Taco Bell, and it's not because I want Mexican food, it's that I want Taco Bell, right? I want the flavors at Taco Bell.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
I don't know,
crazy.
it's something about their sour cream and their greens.
That
that's
Diablo
just
sauce.
different.
It's the chemical makeup that you love.
Right,
They
that's what it
just-
is.
they
And the
just
sour
hit
cream.
different. They
I
just
love
hit
that chemical
different.
maker.
And I love that chemical maker.
I think I had something for you.
Bring it out.
Because you was
Bring it
making me
out.
think. Wisdom of Solomon 7. And let's read. I'm going to read verse 17. It's for you, Deke. Check this out. So, because you was talking about the makeup of all these things, and Solomon understood these things, but it just made me think about all the other stuff that have chemical features in it and the nature of how things work, right? So now I'm thinking about the banana and how it has all these different chemicals. So watch this. Here we go. Wisdom of Solomon 7 and verse 17. It says, "For he hath given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely, to know how the world was made and the operation of the elements."
Chemicals.
Verse 20, "The natures of living creatures and the furies of wild beasts, the violence of winds and the reasonings of men, the diversities of plants and the virtues of roots."
Hey,
Dang it.
so let me tell you,
Talk to him.
the diversities of plants, right? That means there's levels to understand.
Uh-oh.
And at Solomon's
Uh-oh.
level, he knew this.
Right.
He knew the
Like, he just
makeup.
knew it.
He
He
knew
just
the
saw
exo-
it.
the exolic acid.
What's
for
that movie?
E300.
What's that movie where the chick saw Lucy? She
Yeah,
saw like,
Lucy.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
Oh, that's
He
good.
understood that. He saw that. And he knew what was good for this, what would be good for that. You know how they tell you now you'll have influencers say cucumbers help you with this. Blueberries are full of antioxidants.
Right.
Yep.
You
This
mix
is full of
these
that.
up and then you.
He
Yeah.
knew that. He knew that. He knew that. And here's the funny thing. Let me hip you to something, brothers and sisters. Those foods do have those benefits usually when you see them, right? Sometimes some of them are far-fetched, right? But you have to eat them as a regular part of your diet.
Right.
Right.
It's not like I eat blueberries once
Facts.
and I took some antioxidants and
Yes,
it's done.
right.
These things have to be
Part
a
of your regimen.
regular part of your diet when you do these foods, right? So it's like a lot of times you're like, oh yeah, I want to do cucumbers because it is. But you do cucumbers like once a week.
Right.
They're talking about all these things should make up a portion of your diet, right?
Right.
Throughout the lifespan, and consistently. And if you drive yourself nuts doing that, listen, that's what I'm saying. The effort that it would take, you're not really gonna do that. Very few people do it.
Right.
To select and diversify the produce that they get, and sometimes you can't even find some of those things. You got to go all over the place. If you got the time to do that, bless you, right? That's fine.
Right.
But if you just focus on those 4 pillars,
That's it.
right? because under diet, I've gone over this before. It's not just, I'm not talking about dieting, like trying to lose weight. Maybe you don't want to lose weight.
Right.
Maybe you just
lifestyle
maybe you
change.
just want to feel better and maintain your weight, right? And you don't want to gain or anything like that. Then it should consist of mostly whole foods and different things like that, you know, so on and so forth. And if you got a sweet tooth, train yourself to like fruit. You'll do a lot better with it. It's more satiating. It's not gonna be like those. Because I tell you, man, sometimes I'll smash like a little. You know, now they sell minis, right?
Mini
like,
what?
Like mini of whatever of the full size
Oreos or
dessert, right?
something like that.
Okay.
Or like Oreo thins,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But they still hyper palatable.
Yeah,
So
they
if you
jacked
go,
up.
beyond the serving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
up.
saying?
Yeah, you jacked
So like
Wait that joint.
So the little Hostess cupcakes,
Yep.
they got minis now, right?
Damn it.
And it's 2 little bite-sized ones in the things. but if you don't discipline that craving,
They're like chips.
Man.
you eat 3 of the little 2-packs.
Damn,
You
that's
might as well
6.
just ate the whole big
Regular
thing.
one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like you with soda,
Yeah.
right? Just
Yeah.
that thing got you, bro.
I'm working on actually letting it go. This is day 1 again.
They want to get what, since yesterday?
That's like the
No,
whole
yeah,
how
it
many
was.
days without
Shit.
incident,
Right. So you got
Hey.
2 days without incident?
That's it. Come
Okay.
on now.
You know what's been altering the way that I eat now is I got the scale. Right? I've been having it for like about 4 weeks now. So now that I got the scale,
Food
I've been
scale.
the
Food
food
scale.
scale. Yeah, sorry, the food scale. I've been weighing like my yogurt, for example. I got Greek oikos yogurt, right? I used to think I used to just eyeball stuff, right? So I used to think this much was okay. I got my 22 grams. So I weighed my Oikos yogurt today, and it's like 178 grams for 1 serving. And I was surprised. It really wasn't that much. So now I'm able to calculate exactly what I'm getting in the portions based off the weight versus the eyeball. And I'm actually preserving more yogurt because I was eating more thinking I wasn't hitting the serving.
Oh man, you know my wife bought Twinkies the other day, Sister Ida, and I used to smash Twinkies. I haven't had them in a long time, but guess what? I had one and I was good, and I haven't had one since because I just like it's kind of out of my system.
5 days without
right?
incident.
Hey, but I'm gonna hit y'all to something. I'm gonna show you a little something that I've been doing for dessert to kill a sweet tooth, and
Talk
that's all
to
right.
me.
I need you to Google sugar-free apple pie filling from Walmart.
Uh-oh. We're going on a journey.
All right. Go ahead. Put the show the front, and then we're also gonna show the back. Okay. Show the front first. I'm gonna hip y'all to something that I've been doing that's crazy work. That's crazy work. And you gotta, and this is why you gotta love some dairy. Now you could do this however you want. All right. This is no sugar added apple pie filling. All right. Show the back label. Show the back label. All right. Is apples, water, food starch, right? Spices, and then they use Splenda in it, right? That's how they do it. And you know, I know some people it's an acquired taste, the sweeteners and stuff like that. But look at that. 1 serving is only 8 grams of carbs and only 30 calories, right? So I do 2 servings.
Okay.
Let me tell you what I've been having. And look up Magic Spoon protein granola. All right, Magic Spoon protein granola. I'm gonna hip y'all the same. This thing be killing the sweet tooth. Now it looks like slop in the bowl when you mix it.
Okay.
But I take a Oikos Pro 20 gram protein,
Yeah.
Nice.
vanilla.
Slapping in
Nice.
I slap a couple servings of this apple pie filling,
Uh-huh.
and then I take the honey almond Magic Spoon protein granola at half a serving. And I wind up, it's like eating an apple pie a la mode.
You ate that joint?
And then you put it in the fridge so it gets nice and cold. Like eating an apple. You could keep the yogurt and keep that cold and then heat up your apple pie filling if you like it warm.
Right.
And then mix that in there. Well, crazy work.
Wow.
You know what else is good that I like simple? I do the Oikos vanilla, little bit of honey, right? And then I throw some frozen raspberries in it. Forget it. Crazy work.
Hey, I appreciate the
Jesus.
cappuccino protein powder you gave me. I'm almost done with it.
Oh,
actually,
that
yeah.
Dunkin' one? That was
The
good,
Dunk-
right?
the Dunkin'
Yeah,
one,
and you
yep.
got your coffee kick with some protein, right?
Right, yeah, it's
You
20
know?
grams, baby.
Hey, you know what else I do? I buy cold
25.
coffee,
Yeah.
and then I mix it with a protein shake. And that's my creamer.
There you go.
And that's what I do on Sabbath mornings. That's my breakfast.
Nice.
Damn.
So I get a Core Elite 42 gram. I mix that with the cold coffee, like black cold unsweetened
Cold brew.
coffee.
Yeah.
Boom, crazy work. And then you can
There.
even spice it up. Throw a little cinnamon, throw a little nutmeg in it. You know what I'm saying?
Claws.
That's it.
Yeah, let me tell you that sugar-free apple pie filling is a game changer.
That's what it is.
Hey, with Greek yogurt and cottage cheese and like some sort of sweetener of your choice, you could make crazy desserts.
I ain't tried cottage
Greek
cheese as of
yogurt
yet.
and cottage cheese.
Not together, but I'm saying
Okay.
those will make it high protein,
Okay.
and you get the different textures and consistencies that you want. Crazy word. PB powder. So if you like peanut butter,
I got some of that at
you,
the house.
you could
yeah.
just mix the PB powder with your yogurt, and you wind up with a little.
Oh,
You could even
snap.
take a little chocolate sprinkles.
Yeah, I got that at the
You
house.
know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
let me hip you to another one. Put up Flavor God. I'm gonna hip you all to another one.
I told you he's a technology chef.
and then we're gonna move on. No, because brothers be wilding how I stay so low fat
Chef Boyardee.
And still eat what the hell you want.
and still eat what I want. Right there. Nope, not that one. That's the flavors. They have buttery cinnamon roll and they have chocolate donut. But you can show buttery cinnamon roll. I'm gonna hip you all to
Chocolate
this.
donut.
I'm gonna hip you all to this. Buttery cinnamon roll. Flavor God, buttery cinnamon roll. They have chocolate donut too. So if you like chocolate, you have chocolate donut. These are little the serving size is no calorie. I weigh this too if I'm gonna go crazy. You can't. But even if you OD'd, it's a 0-calorie serving. I take cream of wheat or oatmeal,
Oh,
right? I put no sugar in it. I just put this,
yeah.
and it's like a cinnamon roll.
Wow,
Hot cereal.
That is a
that's
great
fine.
alternative.
You could put that in your yogurt. So when I want a sweet treat, I throw that in my yogurt. Chocolate donut,
Hey, take notes, y'all.
crazy.
Take notes.
Dang.
right? So if you want you like peanut butter chocolate, little Reese's
Right.
protein
Yeah.
yogurt,
Right.
Yeah.
throw the little bit of measure it, the PB powder,
'Cause
throw some chocolate
that's my
donut.
kryptonite.
That's right.
That
And with
Reese's-
the yogurt?
That's right. That's
Yeah, that
right.
Reese's my kryptonite.
Yeah, that's fire.
Yep. Yeah, Eliana, if you, and you see, you're one of those outliers, right? Like you have conditions. The diverticulitis is not nothing to mess with. You just have to find a sweetener that you like, and then make your own desserts together, right? So if you can do stevia, some people could do monk fruit. You can then
monk fruit.
mess with some of this stuff and put it together that way. So look, those are just some little, because I have a sweet tooth, right? Hey, and sometimes I'll just eat the sweet tooth. Like I'll just,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You know, like I'll just make sure I try to have a portion of it and stick to that, you know? And caffeine helps me kill my caffeine in between meals sometimes. So I try to mess with that.
I found some healthy Reese's peanut butter cups on Amazon.
Yeah, with sugar free.
Yeah, they were
I had the
sugar-free.
sugar free ones. I don't like the way they taste. You know, you can make your own
yeah.
with like frozen yogurt and the PB powder, and then you put them in the freezer.
I didn't make them like that. I used the chocolate and melted it down.
You could even melt the chocolate chips, like
Yeah.
and
oh,
do
the,
that.
the semi-sweet, you mean?
Yeah, cocoa powder you can do
Okay.
to make desserts too. Like you could smooth out the cottage cheese if you want, like in a little food processor.
With some peanut butter and some nutritional
So
yeast.
peanut butter powder, and you could throw some cocoa in it, and you get all these layers of flavors without, you know. Hey, but that protein granola is crazy. That's good. The macros on that are better. So all this different stuff helps
good
me
stuff.
to help with my urges and my cravings, and
That's great.
keep the protein high, keep the fat low, and then a lot of these things have extra fiber in them sometimes. So it's another way to kind of get fiber in and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Dates are good. They're very
They are,
calorie
yeah.
dense though. They're very calorie dense. Like a serving of dates, it's like 32 grams of carbs by itself.
Dang, what's
Yeah.
a serving?
I think 2.
Claude, have mercy.
Yeah.
Because dates, be
They're real
good. I
sweet,
love
man. They
some
fire.
dates.
Yeah,
Man.
they really good.
Yeah, dates are fire, but I think like the macros
I've
on
had
dates,
chocolate
like a
dates
serving has
before.
32 grams of carbs by itself.
Dang it.
And that's usually close to like what a serving in a meal would be, you know. So but dates are fire. Especially you get the Mejdul dates.
Ooh,
Don't
yeah,
they-
the Mejdul, yeah.
So
80
servings 80 to
130.
130 calories, carbs 20 to
45.
35, right? So it depends.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah, so that's a big portion of my carbs.
That's
so
for
that's,
like
that's why I
5.
won't mess with them. I could eat 200 grams of pineapple for less than that.
Pineapple.
Yeah,
It's my favorite.
I
fruit.
did like a pound of it the other night with tahini.
Oh yeah,
Do you
buddy.
do you freeze it though?
Wow.
Like
I keep it in the fridge though. I like when the fruit come out cold. Plums, you can eat like 2 or 3 plums for like
That's a Georgia
Plums.
special right there.
Uh-huh.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, there was more health stuff I was going to show, but I want to get to the main part of the topic because I wound up speaking about different tips and stuff like that.
That was
Is there
some good
anything else
stuff.
that's real good? No. You know what?
You have
Let me
sister
show the
about-
food
right.
chemicals. Let me show the food chemical. Wait, there was another one. Wait, why did you call that one food chemicals? Because that wasn't the food chemical one. Which one is that one? What does he talk about in that one? Yeah, that one that you were highlighting. Did John name it food chemicals or did I? Oh, here's nah.
Oh, that's the one guy.
I don't want to show that one. Let me show this guy on the far right, and then we're gonna move on. So stop. Understand, this is for you who you struggle with the scale and it messes with your head. All right? Watch this process. Go ahead.
And go.
You would lose per day in a 250 calorie deficit. It's barely anything and it's unrecognizable, especially because in the same day, your body would have retained some water. So the weight of this bowl is going to be primarily water and not body fat. Then the next day, if you stay consistent, you would lose the same amount. But then again, you'd also have similar changes in water retention. And this cycle will basically continue with every single day that you're in a calorie deficit. You see different changes in water retention. So after a week, you might weigh yourself and nothing is recognizable. Your weight has stayed the same, you're a little bit frustrated, but you have dropped half a pound of body fat. This is where you need to understand that losing fat and losing weight are two different things. If you're in a calorie deficit, it's going to be inevitable that you are going to drop body fat. It's impossible not to. But the water retention is always going to be all over the place. You don't really have much control over this. That's why when it comes to losing body fat, you can
Why'd you stop?
go off a weekly scale reading. Because to be honest, it doesn't really show you that much. Remember that you lose a minuscule amount of body fat per day. It comes out to about 0.64 grams of fat that you would lose a day. You can see changes in water up to 2 kilograms. That's a huge difference. So you could be losing body fat, but the scale weight goes up. I know sometimes that's so hard to understand because the likes of Slimming World has led you to believe that you're only making successful fat loss if the scale weight is going down. That's why you need other measurements of progress in place, like taking photos, doing measurements, going off how your clothes fit, generally going off how you feel. These will show you much more than what this would.
Right. So, you know, and really what you want to see is weight trends, like if you're trending down. And I know it's hard because like sometimes I'll go a couple weeks in a row and it's within the same 1 pound, right? But, you know, there's apps and stuff that help you show a trend. Like I use Happy Scale, even their free version. And it kind of shows you what your trend is and what your rate of fat loss is and things like. And what people say when they want to lose weight, what you really want to lose is fat because you want to look a certain way. And that's why protein should stay high. You should be doing some form of strength and resistance training. That's what helps it be more fat than anything else that you burn. But it's very little the amount of fat that you burn. And then if you're a woman, I'm telling you it's even worse because y'all be moving water all over your body like crazy as you go through the different phases of your cycle. And that makes it even worse. So the scale messes with your head. You use the scale as a measure for trends, but really you want to do pictures, you want to do how the clothes fit, things like that. And that's going to be more meaningful. I got to remind myself, knowing this, when I hit that scale, I got to remind myself all the time, man. I'll be frustrated. So I got to remind myself, you know what? Did I have a lot of carbs? After a fast, you carb up. You think like, oh, I should have lost weight for the fat. The fast, right? That's like another bonus from fasting, right? We fast for spirituality, but because as long as you don't eat all your calories back that you ate for that day, right? Some of y'all break that fast like heavy. I don't know how y'all could do that, Mr. Taco over here. Some of you break that fast heavy. It's hard to eat all your calories in one meal, though. I think I mean, you could if you really overdo it. You know what I'm saying? 6 tacos or like a supersized meal somewhere, whatever, a bunch of fries. You could, especially with fats and stuff like that and oils. But you got to realize how much water your body moves around in the body. And the scale, even the ones that show body water, they're not really good. And you can't even go by that. The scale's just one tool. You need to have multiple so that you have your sanity on your goal and you don't feel deflated when you do it, right? Don't be chasing the number on the scale. Yes, there's a goal weight, as much as the physical changes and how you're feeling and what you're seeing, because the way you metabolize fat, like he showed you, that's about the average of what you're going to burn in a day when you're in a deficit. And so your real fat results come, at the end or like halfway through of whatever you're going through. And that'll help you stay on track. Don't let the scale mess with your head. Do not let the scale mess with your head, right? It's going to mess you up. And yes, I love tembleque. Somebody asked about tembleque. I love tembleque when it's made right. Some people don't know how to make it. But tembleque, I love tembleque. Tembleque is crazy. Anyway, we're going to jump into the main part of the show. We're going to deal with the topic here, all right? See, you've been watching too much social media. Do them burpees. That'll make you burn everything. Do you know the amount of calories you do burning burpees is like nothing? Like, it feels like you're doing a big workout. So you're like, oh my gosh, burpees and stuff like that. I'm not saying they're not bad. They good. They get the heart rate going and stuff like that. But you're better off just like walking a mile. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're into running, do that, or jump on the elliptical or something like that. Like it's almost unnecessary type of stuff. Like, you know, I think I saw a thing one time and it was like the amount of burpees you would need to do to burn like the equivalent calories of like even running in place. It just feels real demanding. So you think that you're burn. And you know what? The calorie burn that you do while working out, that shouldn't even be a thing. It should come from your calorie deficit.
Right, what you eat.
Because you do that, right? You're like, damn, I did so many burpees today. I can eat this.
Overindulge in that.
And you overindulge,
Dang.
right? Yeah, man. No. Bro, I'm trying to cast down imaginations, bro. He
Right,
said,
right.
damn, deep, me mataste la ilusión. Voy a llorar. Go cry, bro. You making yourself feel good. And I know, Gideon, you be up and down, bro. I've seen you over the years, bro. You need to stop it. You're messing up your metabolism. Every time you do that, you lose it, you pull it back, you lose it, you pull it back. Change your lifestyle. Follow the 4 pillars. You'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Don't choose weight training or resistance training, even if it's calisthenics. That should be your primary exercise. And do your cardio for the health of your heart, to increase your good cholesterol, to decrease the bad cholesterol, to increase your VO2 max. Stop thinking of cardio as a way to burn calories. The calorie burn ain't accurate anyway. There's so much that goes into it. Calorie burn's individual.
Yep.
Unless you go and do a breath, there's a test you could do to get your basal metabolic rate. And then there's one you could do. I have a device at home that I could wear to the gym if I wanted to. And I look like Bane.
Oh, yeah, like
Right.
And it'll let me know what I'm really burning during what I'm doing.
okay.
If I were to do that. Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
It also like makes the
Well,
breathing
come on, look
harder,
into that
right?
joint.
So that it helps with VO2 max.
Yeah, it'll measure that too.
Right.
That little device I have, it'll measure too.
Interesting.
I just feel weird about going to the gym with that and everybody
Right.
looking at me all
What
weird.
is up with him?
He got that COVID.
Thinking like I'm doing the most for
Right.
something,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, I've only used it for resting metabolic rate. And guess what? In all that, it's relative to what the average says on like a smart scale or when I've done a DEXA scan.
Right.
It's
the same
or an online calculator. Like it's within range.
Right.
Like maybe off by a couple hundred calories, which basal is just if I laid in bed all day. Nobody just lays in bed all day really.
Right.
So
You can burn a
I
little
know
more.
that couple hundred margin of error plus or minus is not a big deal because
Right.
I'm following total daily energy expenditure versus basal. So there's ways that you can figure that out. So I can't remember the name of it right now. Let me see if I have the app. It's a few $100. I don't know if people want to spend that. Somebody asked what's the name of that device. I have an app for it, and I think the app will tell me the name of it.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. Got me thinking about it.
Calibre Biometric. I'm going to type it in the chat. Calibre Biometrics. But it's like real finicky. Like you have to charge it so that it warms up. And then like you have to have not breathe it into it until you're ready. Because then it'll like alter it and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's a little device that you wear like that. And the app gives you different things. So like the thing is like, so if you're doing basal, like you got to do it on an empty stomach. You have to charge it for 20 minutes. It has to be fully charged and you have to charge it for 20 minutes so that it warms up. And then you got to sit still and breathe regular for like 30 minutes.
Right.
Dang.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I'm curious like that. So,
Yeah, it's
you
good
know,
to
I got
those
it.
things.
And I'm curious. One of these days, I'll try it at the gym to see what my real VO2 max is. But you know what? My Whoop estimates it. And the Whoops, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I've been using the blood pressure feature on mine. And when I check it against like the cuff in the morning, it's within a few points. Like and I'm not talking about 10, like 5 plus or minus either way.
Right.
Like it's really fairly accurate as far as how that goes. But it's because you calibrate it with a so I don't know what type of science or algorithm they use for it.
It'd be on point.
But it'd be on point. So I don't really need to use that sort of stuff. But yeah, if you want to try that Calibre biometric stuff, you can mess with that. And I think it's a few $100 to get it. But if you're interested and you're that concerned, the thing is, if you get it and it tells you that number and you still don't follow that and you're not going to track your calories, then none of that information matters.
that's
And
just
if
all
you're
that
trying to
money
know
for
your
nothing.
VO2 max and you're not going to train in training zones,
Exactly.
right? Like,
Doesn't matter.
because you're going to need another device to measure your training zones.
Yep.
So if you're not going to be that type of person,
Why
these
do it?
things are not going to give you the answers that you want.
Yep.
Follow the 4 pillars. There's a free calculator. I've put it before. I'll show you. Hold on. I'm going to put the link in the chat. That'll help you, and it gives you a ballpark estimate of what your calories are. And I'm going to post it in the app. And that'll be a great one that helps you out. And you don't have to spend money on this stuff. All right. You can use that link that I just posted. You put in your stats in there. You got to have a general idea of your body fat. It helps if you do. So if you have one of those scales, I know everybody says, oh, bioimpedance is not that accurate. Within 2 or 3%, it is. Like, you know, as long as you're not using athlete mode and you got titties.
Right.
And I'm sorry, and I don't mean a woman. I'm talking about man boobs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my Jesus.
Crazy work.
Yeah.
Bro, I can't get over how many brothers was coming up to me with boobs talking about I'm in athlete mode.
Oh,
Oh
damn.
my Jesus.
I'm in athlete mode. Crazy
Nasty
work.
work.
Crazy work. Yep. Anyway, so we're going to talk about, it's called Empire Without Borders, all right? Should I read it like GPT wrote it?
Read it.
No,
Hey, put that thumbnail up too, man.
No. I think that's too generic if I read it. So, we're going to deal with Empire, right? And I think an Empire, I don't know if anybody's watched
Star Wars.
Foundation.
Oh, Foundation.
Yeah, man, that thing fire.
Love that shit.
That thing is fire.
And you know, I feel like an affinity to it because it's based on the books by Isaac Asimov, who they say he was the first one that got real popular with sci-fi when he started writing science fiction. And my favorite aunt, she was always into sci-fi, so I was into Star Wars and Star Trek and all that stuff, and she was always into it. Right. And she gave me the Foundation books when I was young because I would read a lot, but it was a little more politically driven in the beginning, especially when you read it. And my mind wasn't really into that. Even though I comprehended it, it was just kind of dry for me when I was a young teenager. So it was a little boring to me. But, and you know, I'm sure to take a book and a massive works like that, and you put them on the screen and you lose something, they change a little bit. But from what I can remember, you're getting the essence of it. So I'm doubly into the show because I'm familiar with the books and it reminds me of my aunt, and they have been fantastic, man. And this season been crazy. It's almost over, so I'm pissed off.
Dang.
Only a few more episodes.
Watching this season.
Now you gotta wait like almost 2 years nowadays.
Yeah,
It used to be winter break, and you went back like it was every year. Now they take it so long. Anyway, Foundation, the ruling thing is Empire, and you know there's a lot of spirituality in that. If you sit down
the
and
Trinity.
Right? The Trinity and all that stuff.
The regeneration.
The stuff with the robots. Like even that's spiritual, right? And the people that worship the robots and what they're seeking and all of that. And the rulership is called Empire, right? It's the Empire, and they're called Empire, right? And they're basically like America.
Right.
They're basically the United States.
Trying to manipulate their way to live forever.
Yes. That's exactly it. Foundation. Let me tell you, Apple TV, if you're into sci-fi, I got some fire sci-fi.
C is my jump.
C was good. I remember. I think towards
dope.
the end, I feel like they kind of rushed it, but C was dope.
Yeah,
C
that
was dope.
fire.
They got a lot of good sci-fi though. Some of them they're not going to continue doing them. What's the other one I had mentioned before? Severance, man.
Severance and Silo.
Have you watched Severance? Silo's fire. Severance is crazy.
I'm in season 2 right now.
Severance is dope, bro. Severance is dope.
My to-do list.
Bro, you give it the chance. You got to get through because it's going to seem weird.
Okay.
You're like, what the hell is going on?
Right.
Man, when that thing kicks, it kicks, bro. Severance is crazy. Alter Carbon was fire,
that
too.
was I'm mad they
I'm so
discontinued
mad
it,
they discontinued that. Alter Carbon was dope.
Yeah.
Anyway, Empire. So not just ancient empires like Assyria, Greece, and Rome, but the empire we live under today, which is the United States. And I know we talk about it a lot, but I'm going to show you some historical parallels and how they act and how they move, and you see elements from all the major empires that we were in captivity in. So, you know, when the scripture says, and it compares it to Assyria, compares it to Babylon, it compares it to Rome, it compares it to Greece,
nothing new under the
right?
sun.
All that type of stuff. And like I said, for me, this is portions that will go into a bigger, longer marathon class, Lord's will, when I can figure out when's a good time for me to do it. All right. And we see that pattern in scripture, right? Nations rise, they dominate, they fall, right? But they spread their influence far beyond their borders always, right? So when you line up the Bible with history, you'll see that America's walking in them same footsteps as Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Persia, Greece, and Rome. All right? That's what we're going to show you. So in order to do that, I need to start with American policy in the Western Hemisphere, right? So we're going to start with the Monroe Doctrine. I'm going to read this off to y'all and then get that summary, okay? So the Monroe Doctrine, let's read that, all right? And I've mentioned this before, and I know a lot of people are like, but stay with me, and if you have time, and I got some videos so that it's not all reading, so that you can see it. So we're gonna lay the foundation here first, right?
Let them cook.
And we're going to see America's policy of control, okay? And you're going to see how they do that, because it might seemingly seem as, oh, this is some... Because I remember when I learned this in, like, American history, and you kind of glaze over it, but now that I'm in the truth, I'm like, damn, this is some powerful stuff. This is some high-level stuff, right? And you see how they move the same way, right? But go ahead, come on.
The Monroe Doctrine was a United States foreign policy statement from President James Monroe's 1823 address to Congress, warning European powers against interfering in the Western Hemisphere and closing continents to further colonization.
Right. So they try to frame this, and when I say they, I mean Esau, when they try to make it seem like it was a good thing that they were doing,
right?
That they were protecting the Western Hemisphere from further colonization. So what happened was you saw revolts and rebellions happening in Central South America and the Caribbean. They were winning those revolts. You know, it's hard to support those type of wars and resupply them. That's on the other side of the world. And this is in the age where there was not airplanes. There was no way to get people in quickly. Resources. It took depending on where you were coming from, a year and a half.
Yeah.
By ship to get
the natives
there.
knew the land,
right? The natives knew the land and this and that. So their superior technology and the curses of us being smitten in front of them did help them leverage it, but the Lord always had it for a time. So when the Spanish-American War happened, this was after the revolutions that Northern Kingdom did, damaged and kicked out a lot of these, the Portuguese, the Dutch, the British to some extent, but it was Spain largely that was there, and they were the last ones that they kicked out by those rebellions. And it just became too costly and too much of a pain for them to continue to come over. They figured they had their governors and things in place, and they would go into more agriculture and like basically they got what they wanted. They got their foothold in there. They had el blanqueamiento and things like that. They figured we don't really got to be there and have a presence there. Let them think that they're governing themselves, but we're still going to have influence.
They took a different approach. Wow. Yeah.
And that's what's called an imperialistic approach, because a colonizing approach is that you move there and you send people there. Control. Imperialistic is a kingdom, an empire, right? And you say, okay, you guys can govern yourselves, but you have fealty to us, right? And that's kind of how they did it in their own way. And that's what you're kind of going to see in brief as we talk about today. All right, go ahead, come on.
In return, the United States pledged to stay out of European affairs and not to interfere with existing European colonies.
Come on.
While initially overlooked by European powers, the doctrine became a cornerstone of U.S. policy, later used to justify American expansionism and intervention in Latin America.
Right, so they started off and it seemed like they were protecting the region, but it was to their own benefit,
right?
To make sure that they could unfettered basically play in this backyard, in this hemisphere.
It was a war.
And have access to it, right? That reminds me, get me that in Wisdom of Solomon 14, that war of ignorance. Wisdom 14. Let me let you know which verse I want you to start at.
That's verse 22.
Start at 21, right?
The Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 21. And this was an occasion to deceive the world.
Under Christianity, right? Under the fake image of a white Christ. Go ahead, come on.
For men serving either calamity or tyranny.
All right, so it was calamity or tyranny. Letting you know that this is when calamity or tyranny is names for Spain, Portugal, the Dutch, right? As far as from the context of showing Northern Kingdom in the Western Hemisphere, right? Go ahead, come on.
Did ascribe unto stones and stocks the incommunicable name.
Right, under Catholicism, which later evolved into all these 45,000 denominations of Christianity. Go ahead, come on.
Moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred in the knowledge of God.
So it wasn't enough that we lost our identity as Israelites and that we erred in keeping the commandments. Go ahead, come on.
But whereas they lived in the great war of ignorance.
It's war. It was a great
Right.
war of ignorance. Go ahead, come on.
Those so great plagues called they peace.
Right, and when he's talking about the plagues, he's talking about that calamity, that tyranny, worshiping the incommunicable name as a white Jesus, as a white God, right? And all these different things that they had on there. Go ahead, come on.
Verse 23, for whilst they slew their children in sacrifices, or used secret ceremonies, or made revelings of strange rites.
Read.
They kept neither lives nor marriages any longer undefiled.
Right, they were marrying amongst the Spaniards, but the Portuguese, everything else. El blanqueamiento that happened there, some of them marriage became not honorable anymore. Go ahead.
But either one slew another traitorously or grieved him by adultery. So that there reigned in all men.
So the results of not having your identity, the results of not following what the scriptures say, all right, it would be your ruin, like you read in Judith, right? So it says it would be your ruin. The results of it was all this thing, so that it reigned in all men, come on.
Without exception.
Without exception. Go ahead, come on.
Blood, manslaughter, theft, and dissimulation, corruption, unfaithfulness, tumults, perjury, disquieting of good men, forgetfulness of good turns, defiling of souls, changing of kind, disorder in marriages, adultery, and shameless uncleanness.
And shameless. So these are all the results of how they left us at that point. Right? So let's read a little bit more key principles of the Monroe Doctrine. Go ahead, come on.
Non-colonization. The American continents were no longer open to future colonization by any European power.
Right, and it seemed like a protectionist type of thing.
Right.
But it was to clear it out so they could operate without any issues in the region. Because they were dead. See, what we're going to see when we watch the video is that at the time that they made this declaration, they really didn't have the military might to back it up. Right? That's going to lead to another policy that we're going to see that happened in 1904 when they really were able to step it up. And they knew that, but it was enough of a threat because, again, think of proximity, think of how close they are, how people had to send people on a year and a half journey from ships from the Eastern Hemisphere, resupply them and all this other stuff like that. And it wasn't motored ships. It was sailboats, right? It just was like, damn, you know what? It doesn't seem like that might be a good idea, right? Go ahead, come on.
Non-intervention. The U.S. would not tolerate European powers attempting to establish or maintain control over newly independent Latin American nations.
Come on.
Separate spheres. Europe and the Americas were seen as separate spheres of influence, with the U.S. promising to remain uninvolved in European conflicts and politics.
So they knew they wanted to come up, and they said, all right, the trade-off is we'll leave them over there on that side, and they ain't going to mess with us over here. Go ahead, come on.
Origins and context. The doctrine was articulated in response to fears that European monarchies might try to recolonize newly independent Latin American nations or interfere with U.S. interests in the region.
And that was the real motivation behind it. Go ahead, come on.
Particularly Russia's expansion in North America. Although Great Britain also opposed further colonization, the U.S. made unilateral declaration to avoid any hint of subordination to Britain.
Come on.
Impact and evolution. The Monroe Doctrine was initially not strongly enforced due to the U.S. lacking significant military power.
Just what I was saying before, earlier, right? Go ahead, come on.
Over time, the doctrine evolved, providing a foundation for U.S. expansionist policies and intervention in Latin America.
Right, and intervention's a nice word to go into what they did in supporting various coups, trying to dominate in the region, so on and so forth, right? Expanding the imperialist empire, right? Go ahead, come on.
The Roosevelt Corollary of 1904, and in particular...
So corollary is like correlation, right? It stems from that, and what it means is it's an extension of something else that's established already. So the Roosevelt Corollary was a piggyback onto the Monroe Doctrine. Go ahead, come on.
In particular, expanded the doctrine's meaning, transforming it into a justification for the U.S. to act as an international police power in the Western Hemisphere.
Right, and that's and I don't know if ever of you guys remember walk softly but carry a big stick.
Carry a big stick, yeah.
That was him, and what he was talking about was that policing the Western Hemisphere, right? Now, let's show the video, the Monroe Doctrine by Hip Hughes. I used him because he's a little quirky and it's short, all right? Listen good. He's going to give a little more detail about it, okay? And yeah, they do teach it in some of the Caribbean and Central and South America. Gideon was saying they taught about this in Puerto Rico in school. And we learned it here in America, but you know, you're kind of like, oh, freaking history. Like,
Yeah.
And you don't know where you land in it.
right. And you don't that's really what it is. You don't see yourself in it because it's written from their perspective and you're reading it and you're like, what do I care about these crackers? Right. Like just doing all this, right?
Nothing to do with me.
Yeah, like it had nothing to do with me, but it really does because guess what? It affected you.
Exactly.
It was against you, right? So we didn't see ourselves as the ones that were dominating, but we didn't realize that we were the ones that were being dominated against, that all these policies and everything were driven to maintain their control over us. But go ahead, let's watch the video.
Hey guys, welcome to Hippie's History. We got it going on for you today. Monroe Doctrine, a really simple explanation for all of you kiddies out there and adults who are taking tests and you need to know maybe an easy way to remember or to get the concept. The Monroe Doctrine was a doctrine issued by James Monroe in 1823, and I call it dog piss in the hood. And it's a really simple way to understand the idea. Of course, dog urination generally refers to the idea of warning somebody. And hood, of course, is kind of your neighborhood. So the concept here is that America is kind of outgrowing its Washington isolationism. We're not quite ready to go into the world and start pounding our fist on people's faces, but we certainly are at the point where we can turn to Europe and expand the isolationist doctrine with kind of a warning to Europe as well. So Latin America is the hood, dog piss is the warning, and the concept is an extension of isolationism. So it's half Washington. Europe, we will stay the hell away from you, war gods of evil. But, haha, Europe, you need to stay away from our hood. So the Monroe Doctrine, although, like I've said previously, is not filled with enforcement, it is the beginning of the roots, really, of what will become imperialism. When we get to Roosevelt Corollary, guys, we're going to put some teeth in that dog. We're going to grab a baseball bat, our Navy, and we're going to start kind of whacking heads. We're going to build the Panama Canal and do the Spanish-American War and grab, you know, Hawaii and go out into the world and start to do things. But Monroe Doctrine, dog piss in the hood, 1823, James Monroe, Latin America, Europe, stay the hell away, and I'm done with you right now. You should go learn more things.
Right, so that's the Monroe Doctrine in summation, all right, in summation. Now, we're going to read a little bit about that extension of the Roosevelt Corollary, okay? We're going to read about the Roosevelt Corollary, and then we're going to watch a brief clip on that as well. So just to recap, the Monroe Doctrine, U.S. declared that Europe should keep out of the Americas, but that doctrine wasn't about freedom. It was about making Latin America and the Caribbean America's backyard. That's what he says, dog piss in the hood. You mark your territory. That was them marking their territory, right? Now, Roosevelt Corollary. Go ahead. Come on.
The Roosevelt Corollary was President Theodore Roosevelt's 1904 policy, an addition to the Monroe Doctrine that stated the United States would intervene in Latin American nations' internal affairs if their chronic wrongdoing or impotence threatened stability of invited foreign
intervention. So notice the terms that they're using. Their chronic wrongdoing or impotence. What does that mean? And who determines what's wrongdoing?
Right.
Who determines impotence, meaning that they can't function, they have no way to fight or defend themselves, right? This is what you're going to see when we bring it up to modern times, all this posturing that Trump is doing against Venezuela right now and Maduro. And there's another clip we're going to watch that's a little longer, all right? And the commentary, and it's an older clip. It's from Trump's first term. And you see Trump coming back to it now. He has a $50 million bounty on Maduro's head. He sent some Navy ships over there to posture against him. He has all these sanctions against him. And he's saying it's because of cartels and drug things now, right? Chronic wrongdoing, right? Or impotence to stop it. So they create a crisis and then say, because that's the Monroe Doctrine in action, we have the right to come in and do what we need to do. They did it with Panama. They did it
false
with Guatemala. They did it with El Salvador.
That's crazy.
All the false. They did it with DR. They did it with PR, right? And over and over and over again. Okay, not unlike the same way a lot of these empires that had us in captivity dealt with, right? And this is where, again, is very unique, and this is part of those curses. No other nation has had to deal with this this way.
Right.
And to this level. Some might come and say, oh, well, look at Britain with Scotland and so on and so forth. That's not the case anymore, right? Whereas this is still chronic. And think of the mass and scale
Right.
of continents,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's being dealt with here. Europe ain't
And
rolling
terror.
like that,
You
right?
can't compare it.
If you think about it, who are the two continents where this is prevalent? South America and Africa.
Yeah.
It's the only ones where these dynamic, and I'm not going to go too much into Africa. Yes, there's some northern kingdoms scattered there, but I'm going to talk about it from the perspective of where you have a lot of northern kingdom centralized and focused here in the Western Hemisphere, right? Because these things are unique, because people try to come to you and say, oh, well, these country went through that, these people went through that.
Right.
Not to the scale like you read in Daniel,
Under the whole heaven.
under the whole
That's right,
heaven,
that's
like
right.
it happened to the children of Israel, right? Go ahead, come on.
Essentially, it asserted the United States' right to act as an international police power, to maintain order and prevent European powers from taking action against countries that defaulted on their debts. Background. The original Monroe Doctrine, 1823, warned European powers against further colonization in the Western Hemisphere. In the early 1900s, European nations began using force to collect debts from Latin American countries. The Venezuelan crisis of 1902 to 1903, where British, German, and Italian gunboats blockaded Venezuela's ports, highlighted the potential for increased European intervention. Roosevelt was concerned this would undermine U.S. dominance in the region.
Right. Come on.
Key aspects of the corollary. Right to intervene. The United States claimed the right to intervene in the internal affairs of Latin America countries.
Can you imagine? These were supposed to be sovereign countries. In 1823, they said you're not going to colonize them. You leave them alone.
Right.
And now you see the right? You know.
Yeah.
They try to play the defender, but then come in as the one that's
Right.
overtaking
80 some odd years later, like they knew.
Right.
The Monroe Doctrine was a dog whistle. And those in power knew how to continue to piggyback. And you're going to see as you fast forward to today, we're going to show how John Bolton, when he was in good graces with Trump, it was the same thing. And he names the Monroe Doctrine, right? And this was, like 6 years ago. But go ahead, come on.
international police power. The United States would act as a police force to ensure nations fulfill their international obligations.
Meaning pay us what you owe us.
Right.
That's the international obligations. Go ahead, come on.
Justification. Roosevelt presented intervention as a last resort to maintain stability and prevent European aggression. Chronic wrongdoing or impotence. Intervention would occur in cases of severe instability, such as repeated failure to manage internal affairs or meet financial obligations.
And the reason this is important, it sounds like just some decree or whatever, because this is how they don't talk about it often. But you say, gosh, how could they be in the affairs of the how's he going to go and send ships to over here? How's he going to intervene in Haiti? Right. How's he able to do what he's saying that he's going to do in Cuba and all these places, right? He's talking about sending troops to Mexico to deal with the cartels, right? Yep. That's this. It's the Monroe Doctrine. It's the Roosevelt Corollary.
So bringing it back.
Yeah, these were not some acts. These were decrees. These were doctrines that they said they would govern by.
So deep. It's almost like they set these things up 50 to 100 years ahead of time for the generation that's going to come after
them
to perpetuate.
They think deep.
They do it. They do it. The thoughts of him are deep, and they do it. Let's read that real quick. Let's read that. Let's read that.
50 or 60?
Psalm 64 and read verse 6.
The book of Psalms, chapter 64 and verse 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent
Remember,
search.
we read in Wisdom of Solomon, they serve calamity and tyranny. They search out iniquities. Go ahead, come on.
Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
And the heart is deep. They're deep. So going to what you said, Ruvain, they plan this stuff out.
Yeah.
And it's for their future generations to maintain their
That
dominance.
they'll reign forever.
And
in
they're
houses,
all
yeah.
aboard with it. They're all on the same page with it. Now, you'll say, oh, well, Democrats don't move in that aggression. It's just not reported as aggressive.
Right. They do it more
Right.
subtle.
But they do it more subtly.
As the lamb with
They
horns.
do it more as the lamb. And Republicans tend to do it a little more boisterously.
Right.
Yeah.
And you get more attention as they do it.
That's right.
But every administration, every president, they all abide and they're all on board with this. That in that verse?
On
Yeah,
one
I got.
consent.
Can I read another one?
Yeah.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94 and verse 20.
Uh-huh.
Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law?
Right. So this is the mischief that they tried to frame,
Right.
and they frame it by law. Can you imagine that they say we retain that right? And it's kind of like the bully that says, "Hey, did you do my homework today?"
Right.
And you got to
Right.
do it.
Right.
Where's my lunch money?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The
straight up.
audacity.
That's how
The
it is.
caucus.
That's how it is. That's how it is. Let's go
D,
back.
Before we go there, can I read this one thing real quick? I don't know if you have it. It's in Revelations 17.
No,
But
I
if-
don't have 17. Go ahead.
No, it's going into this right here. Get Revelation 17. We're going to make this quick. Let's read verse 11.
The book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 11.
Now, mind you, this is an allegory, but I want you to think about the Monroe Doctrine, and I want you to think about the Roosevelt Corollary. I was thinking about how he was bringing it out and how it correlates to this. Read that, please.
And the beast that was
Uh-huh.
and is not, even he is the eighth.
So this is going into America. He is the eighth, right? When you read up, there's more context, but there's no time. So keep going. Watch this.
and is of the seventh,
Meaning Great Britain. It came from Great Britain. Go ahead.
and goeth into perdition.
Now, watch this. Pay attention to verse 12. Come on.
And the 10 horns.
So the 10 horns, as we know, that's the European Union, right? That's Germany, that's France, that's the European continents that we're reading right now in the Roosevelt Corollary that pertain to that, and the Monroe Doctrine. Go ahead.
which thou sawest are 10 kings,
See that? There are 10 kings. Go ahead.
which have received no kingdom as yet,
Meaning during John's time. Go ahead.
but receive power as kings.
But check this out. Receive power as kings, right? As these allies. Go ahead.
1 hour with the beast.
Dispensation of time with the beast. Who is the beast? America. Watch verse 13.
These have one mind.
And watch what they did.
And shall give their power.
And they, meaning those 10 kings, the European Union, the European countries, they should give their power, go ahead,
and strength unto the beast.
unto the beast. And how did they accomplish this? The Monroe Doctrine, the Roosevelt Corollary, and whatever else Nick is going to bring out.
Yes.
Yo,
Correct. No, I got
that's
this.
heavy, man.
There's more. I'm going to show you how all these things
Tell
led
'em.
to each other. All right?
Shoo.
So first you establish the decree. Then you enforce the decree. Think of it that way. The
Right,
Monroe Doctrine, it's a doctrine. They made a decree, right? They've
Followed up.
established a decree. The enforcement of it was the Roosevelt Corollary. And then the machine that enforced it comes later. But we got to finish with the Roosevelt Corollary. All right? Let's read this. Impacts.
You want to start at the U.S. Convention?
Impact. Yep.
U.S. intervention. Thank you, sir.
It's all that sugar, bro.
That's what
Yeah.
it is.
It's all that sugar.
It's messing with you.
No, today's no sugar. It's the.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, it's a
withdrawal.
detox.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
withdrawal.
Oh, wow.
Focus.
Tyrone Bigum's over here today.
All right.
ahead.
Impact. U.S. intervention. The corollary justified numerous U.S. military interventions in countries like Cuba, Nicaragua, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic.
Right. It was their justification. This is how they can go to these places and be like, damn, what the hell they doing? They just rocking in these places,
And
right?
that's all Israel right there.
Man.
Right.
Yep. Go ahead.
Big stick policy. It was a key part of Roosevelt's foreign policy, often characterized as the big stick approach to Latin America.
Right. And when we watch the video, you're gonna understand that. And there's a scripture that comes to mind that we're gonna talk about that when you see the video. Go ahead. Come on.
Shift in U.S. role. It marked a significant shift, transforming the United States from merely preventing European colonization to actively policing the Western Hemisphere.
Right. So they wanted to actively police the Western Hemisphere. That was the setup. Right. Now let's get the video. Hip Hughes again. Let's show that clip on the Roosevelt Corollary. This one's a little longer because it involves enforcement. Right. Slightly longer, about a minute
Hey,
more.
this is like the bat floor and then the Israel declaration. It's kind of like
Yes,
it
that's
goes
just how
hand
they
in
operate.
hand.
It's the
Oh, have
same
mercy.
thing.
So
It's
that's
the
what you're
same
going to go
thing.
into in the Lord's willing in the when we do the thing.
Yeah, do
maybe-
the thing.
I might add that layer. You know, I went over that history.
I remember
and
that.
Everybody talks about Balfour,
Yeah.
But it started before Balfour.
Yeah, I think we talked about that.
And I
right?
went over that and how they
Even on
set
the
up the
power.
how they set up the funding and the banking
Right.
prior to the Balfour. By the time they made the Balfour Declaration, they had the resources. And then they just needed to employ the resources, which they wound up executing in 1948.
Kinda like this here.
Kind of like this. Go ahead, come on.
Esau, man.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to some Hip Hughes history. We're going to hit you up on the Roosevelt Corollary. How's that for some giddy up vocabulary? So sit back, relax. Let's see if we can't grow your brain 5 times its size with a little bit of history.
Stop. I picked him because he's more engaging. The other stuff was
Yeah.
dry.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like watching the
He's-
History Channel,
Man.
but not interesting.
Watching paint dry.
So right, and the voice was terrible. I said, damn. I said, this guy does it with some spunk.
He's
Right,
hip.
right.
And he does it kind of real easy speaking, right? And so don't feel so much. So it's like I'm giving you history, but I don't want it to feel like a boring history class.
Right.
So there we go. Go
Hip
ahead, come on.
Hughes.
Hip Hughes.
Hey, so Teddy Roosevelt. The Roosevelt Corollary is framed out when Roosevelt wins his term in 1904. He was already president from assassination of William McKinley. But in his inauguration address, he frames out the Roosevelt Corollary, even though I would argue the implementation occurred even before 1904.
Stop. You hear what he said? The implementation, he said he would argue occurred before 1904. This is what we were just discussing.
Meaning they planned it.
These things are set up, and then they make these decree. But by the time they announce it,
They've already been plotting it. for a
Right.
minute.
they've been plotting it and they have
And
it
it's
set.
in place. Yeah. It's in
And
place.
it's in place.
Now they're
They
in.
just got to execute.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Come on.
Basically, what we're doing, guys, is we're kind of taking the Monroe Doctrine and we're handing a gun to that concept.
Stop. So
Remember
you hear
the-
what he's saying? The Monroe Doctrine was the decree,
Giving it a gun.
the enforcement, giving it the gun or the big stick.
The power.
That's what the corollary is.
So that was just like in the Maccabees where they put the decree out that you couldn't celebrate or confess yourself to be a Jew. And then they went through enforcing it, killing people, killing us in different ways.
And we're going to read some verses from the Maccabees to show the similarities later, right? We got to establish all this, and we're going to bring some of them verses out to reinforce it biblically
praise.
so you can see. Go ahead. Come on.
Monroe Doctrine, in class I explained it as dog piss in the hood because in a sense we're marking our territory in Latin America, expanding upon Washington's isolationism. In a sense we're creating a sphere of influence. We're expanding the hood. And what Roosevelt is basically doing, now that we're in the age of imperialism, and I don't have an upset stomach, I'm just getting a little bit hungry. Because the concept is that imperialism for the United States is, in a sense, a hunger for raw materials and new markets, and Latin America offers that to us. So we might justify it in a textbook by saying that we're trying to keep Europe out of meddling in the Western Hemisphere, but I think more realistically the answer is that the United States is going to get ready to meddle in the hemisphere to protect business interest, whether it's sugar interest in Cuba, or it's oil interest in Nicaragua, or it is transportation interest in Colombia, Panama, whatever it is. The idea of the Roosevelt Corollary
Stop.
is
So when he says transportation in Colombia, Panama, when you look at the history of the Panama Canal, it was Colombia that was supposed to have the canal. There's some details to it. I'm still doing some research in it. I thought it would be too much to add to this show. He has another video where he talks about it a little bit and gives an example. But a lot of people don't realize that it wound up being Panama, but it was supposed to be in Colombia. And due to dynamics with the Monroe Doctrine and the Roosevelt Corollary, they wound up defaulting to Panama because it wound up being a better deal for them, and it was an easier, least path of resistance to do it. But go ahead, come on. So the Panama Canal would have been the Colombian Canal
Man.
had things gone differently in history, right? Yeah. So Panama became what it was because of the canal project. Like in short, like when you look into that history, like Panama was. I'm sorry to Benji, and I mean he's Jamaican anyway, and Yamagan, but Panama wasn't ish until the canal.
Until it was.
Like it wasn't even like the concept of it being like a country that was worthwhile or anything. It wasn't
Until the traffic came.
until the traffic came.
Yo, Dink,
Right.
why you gotta get on me, man?
Right.
No, he does.
Hey, and you got to realize, like, it makes a lot of sense because a lot of that was what they now call the Darien Gap. More of that wilderness was in Panama, and it was only because of the canal that they became relevant. So, yeah, go ahead.
intervention, and 12 or 13 times the United States is going to intervene in our hood. I say our hood like it's our hood, in Latin America, from the period of 1900s to say 1915, 1916 until World War I. So Roosevelt Corollary, Monroe with a gun, right? Once the dog marks its territory, now the dog is big enough to carry with it a big stick. It might speak softly, but bam, bam, bam.
Stop.
It can certainly
Get Psalms 55. He says it speaks
I know
softly,
I know where you're going.
but it carries a big stick.
You cook it, right?
All right?
Butter.
It speaks softly, but it carries a big stick. Right? Come on. We listen. We bring this out and we show characteristics. Now I'm giving you historical events that you compare it to. Right? Identifying who the Bible's speaking about in these last days. Okay, come on.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Speak softly. Go ahead, come on.
But war was in his heart.
But carry a big stick. And the war in his heart is coming. After we finish explaining the Roosevelt Corollary, I'm going to show you what wound up happening. All right? And this is just in brief. Lord's will, when I do the marathon, I can get into it a little more in detail. And I've gone through this at different times throughout the years.
But
all
you
right,
gotta dive in hours.
But no, I mean I've done pretty extensive stuff on this stuff. But it's there's newer people. We got more exposure with the show
and more understanding
more understanding to bring it out and give more the sense more distinctly. Right? But go ahead, come on.
His words were softer than oil. Yet they were drawn swords.
Right. Yet they were drawn swords. Roosevelt Corollaries, Monroe Doctrine with a gun. Speak softly, but carry a big stick. And that's their policy. They basically were saying what this is saying,
right?
But in modern speak, right?
That's right.
His words were oil, his words were butter, but war, right? Swords. Go ahead. Is that it?
That's it.
All right. So now, run that back just a few seconds so you can hear that again and think of that scripture when he says that. Go ahead. Come on.
Monroe with a gun, right? Once the dog marks its territory, now the dog is big enough to carry with it a big stick. It might speak softly, but bam, bam, bam. They can certainly enforce things with the U.S. Marines. So, giddy up, that was pretty quick. That's the Roosevelt Corollary, named, of course, after Teddy Roosevelt. Speak softly, carry a big stick, the Monroe Doctrine, Latin America, our hood, sphere of influence. It's cray-cray learning. Okay, guys, if you haven't subscribed to his...
stop. That's it. You can stop him, right? So, before we move on to the Roosevelt Corollary, Theodore Roosevelt added that the U.S. could intervene in any Latin American country to maintain stability, right? That was basically empire dressed up as protection, right? That was protection money type of thing, right? And it was really about getting in there and dealing with the resources. Now, I don't think I sent you the link. No, we're not showing that yet. Look up the School of the Americas. School of the Americas, right? Yeah, that's the video. We're not going to show the video yet. I want to read a little bit about it. All right. And you could do the wiki on it. We'll just read. So now it's called WINSEC. It changed the name. We're just going to read the intro summary of it, right? The School of the Americas. And we'll give the summary. Go ahead. Come on.
The Western Hemisphere Institute for Security Cooperation.
They had to change their name because of how notorious the School of the Americas is. I'm not going to say was because then that buys into it, right? Go ahead. Formerly,
the School of the Americas.
Come on.
Is a United States Department of Defense school located at Fort Benning, briefly known as Fort Moore, in Columbus, Georgia, the school being renamed in the 2001 National Defense Authorization
So
Act.
renamed, that's it. Now you forgot who it is. Just like they called themselves Romans, Europeans, Americans, and you forgot that they were Esau, Edom, right? Go ahead. Come on.
The institute was founded in 1946. By the year 2000, more than 60,000 Latin American military, law enforcement, and security personnel had attended the school. The school was located in the Panama Canal Zone until its expulsion in 1984.
Right. So when there was a lot of dynamic with that canal and why they chose Panama, and they were basically training them to be death squads, dictators, despots, murderers, genocide, all those type of things, and patsies.
Deep in the forest.
And they basically said, we're going to train these Northern Kingdom, because they're Northern Kingdom,
Right.
and we're going to show them our wickedness, and we're going to show them our evil ways, and we're going to show them, and we're going to multiply our efforts, and they think we're going to be doing it to help them, but it's only going to be whoever supports our interest for the time.
right. Yeah.
And historically that's what's happened in that region. Once they kicked out Spain, 1898, it's the end of the Spanish American War. Puerto Rico was the last land grab that they got, and it behooved them to deal with Puerto Rico because it was so close.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
They tried to do it to Cuba, but Cuba kept revolting. That's why they mad at Cuba, because they wanted PR and Cuba. They couldn't do it.
They're gonna do it.
And they didn't get DR, and that's why they were supporting like people like Trujillo and stuff like until they didn't. They would support somebody until they didn't, right? And most of these guys were plants that they trained in the School of the Americas. All right. Go ahead, finish that.
When the institute was still known as the School of the Americas, it had what it described as a hall of fame honoring its most accomplished alumni. It included Bolivian dictator General Hugo Banzer Suarez, drug lord and dictator Manuel Noriega.
So,
That's
so
what I'm
remember, they
saying,
turned
patsies.
against him in the end,
Yeah.
but they supported him in the beginning.
Right.
Go ahead, come on.
And Guatemalan General Manuel Antonio Callejas and
Callejas.
Callejas y Caltejas.
all of that, who is currently a fugitive wanted on charges of torture.
The torture that they taught him.
Yeah, they taught him to do.
That they taught him to do. We've highlighted the book a little bit and some clips of it. There's a documentary by, I think it's, I forgot his name. No, I have it here. Juan Gonzalez. He used to be a young lord. He's the one that's on Democracy Now!, the Spanish dude that's with the Edomite woman on Democracy Now! He wrote the book with somebody else, and they did a documentary called Harvest of Empire. We've gone over it on the show, right? And it goes into the if you don't want to read the book has some more details. The documentary is worthwhile. It helps you understand the School of the Americas a little bit more, right? So let's watch the clip. It's a little longer, I think almost 5 minutes. But we're going to watch it so you can see what's going on here. Yeah, the Grito de Lares, that's basically what it was about. In short, it was really based on the Monroe Doctrine and the Roosevelt Corollary. Go ahead.
From UFOs to psychic powers and government conspiracies, history is riddled with unexplained events. You can turn back now or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Here are the facts. Fort Benning is located in Columbus, Georgia. From 1984 to 2001, the fort was home to one of the government's most controversial facilities, the School of the Americas. This school was founded in Panama in 1946 with the purpose of training Latin American soldiers to combat leftist or non-democratic threats. In 1948, the school relocated to Fort Benning. For decades, this school trained Latin American soldiers to combat these leftist threats feared during the Cold War. The school was dogged by growing controversy, and in 2000, the government closed the School of the Americas completely. The Department of Defense took over the program and renamed the facility the Western Hemisphere Institute for Security Cooperation, or WINSEC. According to their website, WINSEC provides professional education and training to eligible military, law enforcement, and civilian personnel of nations in the Western Hemisphere.
So it's still here, but by another name. No, you can keep going.
Here's where it gets crazy. According to opposition groups such as the School of the Americas Watch, WINSEC and the original School of the Americas are essentially the same organization, and they're teaching their students how to commit crimes, including torturous interrogation methods, guerrilla warfare, and brutal counterinsurgency techniques. Is this true? In 1996, the U.S. government released 7 Spanish-language manuals used at the school and throughout Latin America. These manuals, which were used between 1982 and 1991, shocked the public. They appeared to condone beatings, torture, and even execution. The Pentagon conducted an investigation and met with Congress in closed briefings. Ultimately, about 24 passages in the manuals were found to contradict official U.S. policy, although the Pentagon claimed some quotations were taken out of context. It was the scandal over these instruction manuals that ultimately led to the closing of the original school. Yet these manuals are only part of the criticism. The School of the Americas Watch argues that graduates have used their education to commit atrocities and to violate human rights laws. This is far from a conspiratorial claim. Graduates of the school include such prominent dictators as Manuel Noriega and the Argentinian dictator Roberto Viola. In a 2001 article for The Guardian, journalist George Monbiot listed more than 10 graduates linked with atrocities. The Secretary of Defense states that the individuals cited for human rights violations are only a small portion of the school's graduates. Supporters of the school argue that it is vital for U.S. national security interest, and that holding the school responsible for the actions of its graduates is like holding a university responsible when its former students commit crimes.
But stop. You can stop there. But this is literally set up to teach them on how to deal with those things. But they're trying to say that's like, oh, they just attended here. That don't mean.
Stop it.
You literally majored in the stuff that they went on to do.
You had manuals.
Right. And the numbers that they were showing in that little paper, that's the number that they committed genocide against of their own people.
Yeah.
Right, of their own people,
Yeah.
which you read about in the Maccabees, right? Like how many times did they persuade some of ours who were in prestigious places
who hated
to turn
their own
away,
people,
who hated their own people and moved that way, right? Go ahead, come on.
There's a potential flaw in this logic. What if, as the school's opponents claim, the school is teaching Latin American soldiers, police, and civilians techniques that are inherently criminal? WINSEC remains open today. Despite criticism, the Department of Defense maintains that the school is vital to U.S. security interest and has no plans to close the facility. The original Spanish-language manuals condoning crimes have been revised. Opponents believe that WINSEC is little more than an attempt to whitewash what George Monbiot describes as a terrorist training camp.
Stop.
However,
Deborah made a good comment. She said, you have to think about it. That's where the cartels learned all that crazy tactics that they used. They did.
Right.
A lot of these guys that are in the cartels were they'll tell you they were former military. Wow. They learned these things from all that stuff. You're thinking like, damn, Northern Kingdom wilding out.
Yeah.
They learned all them evils from Esau.
And not just in Latin America, but also in Africa too.
Yeah, they showed Rwanda and some other places there too. Yep.
Border wickedness.
WINSEC differs from the original School of the Americas in at least one important way. The names of the students and much of the coursework are now officially classified. And, according to opponents, that's just the beginning of the stuff they don't want you to know.
All right, yeah, so that was it on that. So, School of the Americas, they built it in 1946 in Panama. It trained thousands of Latin American officers, many becoming dictators, coup leaders, and death squad commanders, all backed by U.S. policy, right? So you have Monroe Doctrine, right? This is their policies of control. This is how they built it up, right? You have Monroe Doctrine. This is the declaration where they piss on it, right? Europe, stay away, right? This is our side of the earth, okay? Roosevelt Corollary. Now they add the gun to it, right? Like Hip Hughes was saying, they speak softly but carry a big stick. And then fast forward, and they moved. They didn't have the School of the Americas yet. They realized that it would be more beneficial and they'd get things done better if they could train these guys and create division, right? Remember, Christ said a house divided cannot stand.
Exactly.
So they said, we're going to keep them constantly in turbulence because they knew they had more resources. They knew they had more numbers and they knew that they were larger than the United States. And their concern was, you have these guys in our backyard. If they rise up with all those resources, they trade with Europe, they become a world power.
Yep.
Overtake them.
Right.
They're going to
fear.
overtake us.
That's the same thing they said in Exodus chapter 1.
It's the same thing like the curse between Jacob and
That's
Esau.
going back to what you said about how America takes
and they were cognizant of it because they thought that would be the way, maybe.
Exactly. Right. Going back to what you said about how America has taken of every single one of these nations' particular characteristics.
Yes. So, Juan Gonzalez in Harvest of Empire, he points out the results of all of this. And this is where you fast forward to some interesting things, right? And we're going to show a couple more things and then we're going to go jump back to the scriptures. He points out that the results of everything we just went over was the U.S. destabilized all these nations. They backed these coups, right? They extracted resources and then received the migration that followed. That's what's called the Harvest of Empire. The results of all this migration, which is the hypocrisy behind it. It's not even, this used to be our land. we are coming here because they destroyed our homes.
And that's
they destabilized our homes. We have cartels, we have drugs, we have all the poverty that we have.
Right.
We have all the violence, we have all the hate, the colorism because of them. And the results of the influx of immigration here is because they basically bombed, destroyed where we're at, destabilized it so badly, right? And even the modern cities, there's people that want to come here because the come up is not as good down there.
Right.
And they want to come here, and the results is this dude. And that's what? That's the same way that the Assyrians uprooted people.
Yeah.
That's the same way a lot of ancient empires did, and America does it today. It's the same setup. It's the same setup. All right? Now, what's one of the results? Let's get the one about Sikot. There was an article about Sikot. And then we'll show the longer video after this. We're only going to show a little bit. We're going to read some of this. We're going to show a little bit of it. They call it the Cemetery of Living Men. Trump deportees tell of abuse in a secretive mega jail, right? Go ahead. Let's read some of this. Go ahead.
Arturo Suarez says he was beaten by guards as soon as he arrived at El Salvador's notorious Sikot prison. When he regained consciousness, his glasses smashed, everything was blurred, he says. But he heard the greeting clearly. Welcome to hell. Welcome to the cemetery of living men. The only way you leave here is dead.
Right. Remember, so Trump's been trying to send people there. It made a lot of news initially as he was sending people there. You're not seeing it as much. It's a little toned down, but it doesn't mean that he's not sending people there still.
Right.
Exactly.
Right? He's sending people there. You see, people voted for this guy thinking that he would only deport the criminals, right? The ones that were the gangs trying to do stuff here. And even Northern Kingdom voted for him,
right?
Saying that's good.
Saying
I
the
can
same
get behind
thing.
that. But they don't realize that when he said criminals, he meant being here legally is a crime.
Right.
So you could be innocent, not part of any gang, not committing any type of crimes, paying your taxes and everything, but because you're here and you didn't cross properly, you're lumped in with the rest. You're a criminal.
Exactly.
This is the cleverness in their words.
Smooth
this
as
how
butter.
This is how they're smooth as butter and they're butter, and they're deceitful. Right. And a lot of this immigration we just saw as a result of this, and now he's sending them back to be tortured in prisons
For the rest of their life.
or sending them to countries where they don't even know nobody or don't speak the language just to get them out. Right. And supposedly he says that he needs to fight for the Venezuelan people. But then why is he kicking out all the Venezuelans? Why did he end a program that had the Venezuelans here on parole? Not just Venezuelans, but Haitians and a few others, right? But it was mostly Venezuelans that was taking part of it. They call it a parole program where they let them come if somebody sponsored them, and they could live here for a couple of years and try to get themselves established and become citizens, right? During that time period. If he's so concerned about what Maduro is such a bad guy and doing stuff in Venezuela against the Venezuelans, you see that the double like it's right in front of you. Like it doesn't make sense, right? And when we watch the other piece, you're going to see that. And look, it's hard for us to speak absolutely about anything, knowing what we know about the School of the Americas, right? Could there be some selfishness and some measure of corruption that happens? Sure. But nobody's there, so we don't really know, right? What I'm trying to say is I'm not going to say that Maduro's some hero because there might be some stuff that comes out that shows that he's doing some salty stuff. But on his stance on America and how America operates, oh yeah, 1,000%. I'm a roll with what he's saying. I'm a roll with what he's saying, right? Go ahead. Come on, let's read a little more. We're going to jump around on this article.
Arturo says the person speaking was the jail's director, Belarmino Garcia. Sikot, the center of confinement of terrorism, was designed for the mass incarceration of El Salvador's most violent and dangerous gang members, a symbol of President Nayib Bukele's hardline approach of the wave of murderers and extortion that had terrorized the country. Since it was opened in 2023, authorities have been secretive about life inside Latin America's largest prison. And with few inmates ever let out, there has been a little information available about what goes on behind its concrete walls.
There has been little information.
behind its concrete walls and electrified fences.
Wait, why you moved?
That was
Hold
it.
on. Oh, that was it?
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. Let me see. All right, so
that's
that's
the prison.
CCOT, right?
Uh-huh.
It's 8 bunks. That's how it's laid out, okay? And all that fence around it. Go ahead, come on. Let's keep reading. Let me see. After it started in their testimonies.
In their testimonies, they describe regular beatings, sometimes with sticks.
So some of them got released. They worked something out with Venezuela, released some American prisoners, and they told El Salvador, go ahead, let some of them go. Monroe Doctrine, authority, Roosevelt, he's telling El Salvador what to do, right?
Exactly.
Which invalidates what he was saying. Remember when they were trying to get the other guy, Kilmar Abrego, back? Abrego?
He was saying Venezuela wouldn't let him go.
No, he was like, no, I couldn't do that. That's, right. But
who's got
right, right,
That's
exactly.
that's that Job 9:24.
Yep.
In their testimonies, they describe regular beatings, sometimes with sticks while handcuffed. One says he was sexually abused by guards.
Wow.
The men say they slept on metal bunks with no sheets or mattresses and had to eat with their bare hands. They also had no access to lawyers or the outside world.
Look at that.
No clocks or watches to tell the time of day.
Hey, you know what that reminds me of? You ever
Golly.
seen The Count of Monte Cristo?
Yes, that's my movie
That's
too.
that's Chateau d'If.
Yeah, Chateau Thief.
Chateau d'If.
13 years in the Chateau Thief.
Remember where he would beat him once a year, every year? He goes,
Yeah,
the
on
only
his
way you're going to
birthday.
know about time
Yep.
is your birthday of coming in here.
That's right.
Wow.
And he would give him a beating to remind him that
That's
he knew
crazy
that it was
work.
another year that passed. So it was
Yep.
an annual beating, so he knew that. So
Right.
he would know
That's
that
how
a
he
year
knew.
passed.
That's the only way.
The Latin Chateau Thief.
I love the count. That's one
That's
of my
my
favorite
thing,
movies.
for real.
I know. Yep. I could watch that thing over and over, bro. It'd be
Straight
on
up.
TV at any point. I don't even
That's
gotta
it.
watch it from the beginning, and I'm
Just
gonna
watch
finish
it.
checking it out. Go ahead, come on.
Age between 23 and 39. They had all been living in the U.S. Some had entered in accordance with U.S. law.
Which is in that parole program. Go ahead, come on.
Others had crossed the border illegally. Before, they were accused of being violent gang members and deported to El Salvador.
Here's the important part. Read this.
They all deny any gang involvement in criminal activity and say they were never given an opportunity to challenge the accusations
Wow.
against them. Most are convinced they were singled out because of their various tattoos, which U.S. authorities have claimed demonstrate potential links to Tren de Aragua, a powerful regional.
Wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
He did all right
Yeah,
on
there
that
you
one. You can come on a mission now.
Yellow
Do it. A powerful regional criminal group that originated in Venezuela.
All right, so scroll. Let's see what else. That's 8 of them that they gave their accounts. Could you tell which was the one that was sexually assaulted?
The one on the
It was
top
the
right.
top
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Top right.
Either him or
Or,
this guy down here, I think.
Oh, him right there?
Because he said they found out he was gay, so they raped him.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
the countenance
guards.
says all. So it was probably the guy right there, bottom, third to the bottom.
I think
Yeah,
it's
right
either
there.
him or the other one.
Countenance says it all.
Yeah,
It just-
Or
I
just
think
one of
so.
them two.
But
One
I
of
think
them
it's the
two.
bottom one right there, the third
Yeah.
to the right.
Dang it.
But anyway, go ahead. Come on. Let's see what we got. We're gonna jump. Keep going.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
Shaving his head and everything. Look at that.
So he says that they were hitting him while he was getting dressed. They hit him with sticks, punched him in the ribs. They wouldn't let him get dressed. Go ahead, come on. The prison and its cells. Keep going. You're gonna keep scrolling and it's gonna say some stuff. So it's gonna give you the layout, right? They say it's an
Wow.
immense. It's
A
like a complete
city.
city. Go ahead, come on.
Jesus.
730 meters. What is that in
57 acres.
The 57, 23 hectares, 57 acres, 8 blocks with 32 cells in each. Go ahead, come on. That's the layout. And it has a network of surveillance cameras and 19 watchtowers. That's the watchtowers that they have on it.
You
Go
can
ahead, come
forget
on.
it.
Yep. You ain't getting
No
out
escaping
and
at
nobody
all.
getting in.
0%.
Right? Hold on. Go ahead, read the Venezuelans say.
The Venezuelans say there were 10 to 19 of them in each cell, and they were generally kept apart from Salvadoran inmates.
Come on.
But sometimes a group of Salvadoran prisoners would bring food and collect the rubbish. And because of their yellow uniforms, the Venezuelans called them the Minions, like the characters from the animated Despicable Me film.
Keep going. All right, that's showing you the cell. That's how the cell is laid out, right? Go ahead. No, read it. What are you doing?
God.
The migrants say the guards would sometimes move them between cells.
Right, and that's how the cells would look. And the bunks were, it was 4.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the bottom, 2, 3, 4. Like,
metal
can you imagine how
racks.
high that is?
Oh my
And they were
God.
metal racks. There's another picture that it will
Yeah.
show the angle of it. Go ahead, keep going.
Imagine you fall off.
That's what they slept on. No blankets, nothing. They just said that was your bed, a
That's
table. They slept on a
crazy
table.
work. Yeah.
They slept on the table. Go ahead, come on.
They describe how each one had 4 rows of bunks stacked 4 high. Most of the time, we slept on metal, like 10 tables, without sheets, without anything, says Arturo.
Come on.
In reality, none of us slept, adds Andy Perozzo, describing how one of the guards would bang on the walls or doors so we couldn't sleep. Every moment was torture.
God.
The men describe how the ceiling lights were left on all day and all night.
So if you was on that top bunk,
I know you
just
like to put your
catching
little
it.
eye mask and stuff to
Yeah,
go to sleep. So
straight
you
up.
can imagine.
Man, crazy work.
And then even with that, don't be sleeping.
Nah, that's true.
Go ahead, come on.
Oh my God.
Each cell had 2 water tanks for washing and drinking and 2 toilets, which the men flushed with a bucket of water. They say there was no toilet paper.
Can you imagine that?
Wait. What?
No bidet, no toilet paper. That's hands.
Yep. Go ahead, come on.
There was no toilet paper. Jesus.
The lavatory could be seen by everyone, and the smell was horrible. It stank so much inside the cell, says Wilkin Flores. There was no ventilation, no airflow. The heat was suffocating, recounts Arturo. The men all say they weren't allowed outside. We felt the sun on our bodies only twice, both times when the Red Cross
So when
came.
the Red Cross comes, they said that they would make the conditions better when the Red Cross was there. But as soon as they were gone, they would put them back into these conditions, right? Just keep scrolling. Let me see the daily routine.
No time and day, as it says there.
Wow. Go ahead, keep going. Hold on, scroll up.
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Look at
God.
that.
Yeah, so he says in the 4 months, you can read that.
In the 4 months, he was detained. Arturo claims he was given toothpaste 3 times when there were visits from the Red Cross or U.S. politicians. We ended up brushing our teeth with soap.
Keep going.
The inmates had to ask for permission to get water to drink and to go to the toilet, he adds. Otherwise, the guards would hit us. Despite having no way of telling the time, the men estimate meals were served at 0700, 1200, and 1700 and were a combination of rice, beans, pasta, and tortillas, sometimes with sour cream or cookies. They all say they had no cutlery and had to eat with their hands.
So watch this. So they didn't have no toilet paper for the going to the bathroom.
Right, but
So they had to
I know what
eat
you're
with
saying.
their hands.
I know what you're saying. Hey, yo. And they gave them food that would affect their bowels.
digestive system, yeah.
Yep. The guards.
Torture. God.
Just keep scrolling. Let's see. Come on.
Look, it says something about pills.
Yeah, they gave him some weird pills that would make their pee red.
Jesus.
Let's read about the island.
The island. Some of the most brutal treatment is alleged to have happened in the place known as the island. This is what they called each of the 3 dark cells where they take you to torture you, says Joanne Suarez. The BBC has created this illustration from testimony shared by the men.
So that's the island, right? It's a little booth like that. Go ahead, come on.
Joanne describes one small hole in the ceiling for a weak ray of light to filter in, explaining that in the island, the guards cover their faces so prisoners can't tell who they are. They make you kneel, slap you, hit you, kick you, sometimes with sticks, he adds. Arturo, a singer from Caracas, says after one beating there, he was unable to sit down because his ribs and kidneys hurt so much. Twice I spat blood. My head was like a punch bag. He was taken there more than 10 times. He says mostly as a punishment for singing.
God dang it.
Andre says on one occasion, guards sexually abused him. He believes this was because he is openly gay. He says he didn't dare report it to prison management because he was afraid that something much worse would happen. That's why we all decided to remain silent.
Oh, so there was more than one.
Keep going. Let's see if there's anything else we want. They talk about the sheets. That's it. We could stop on that. You get the idea. There's so much more that they say in this. It's a pretty long article, and there's more details to the things that they dealt with, right? And then now I want to show the longer video, and then we'll move into the scriptures to show these type of things. Go ahead.
Actually, I'd prefer to spend some time on this. John Bolton was speaking with.
So John Bolton was the defense secretary in Trump's first administration. I'm trying to show you the time jump and how they still move by this policy, right? We showed the CCOP because this was the result with the immigrants, School of the Americas, all this type of thought process, everything that's here. Go ahead, come on.
And look, this is so interesting because this whole effort towards this Venezuela coup and threats of invasion. First of all, look at Trudeau and the pseudo.
Trudeau's was the prime minister of Canada at the time. He's somebody new replaced him this year.
Canadian government. Trudeau signed up on efforts at regime change in Venezuela, but has been, I believe, photographed with the Haitian president, who organic, non-outside engineered interests are demanding he be removed. Haiti has one of the most important social movements happening in the world today right now. Go to the TMBS channel and watch the history of it with France Francois. And again, there's organic opposition inside Venezuela, and the Venezuelan government has absolutely committed abuses. There's no doubt. Ken Silverstein just wrote a really good report there from the New Republic. He's like, look, made plenty of mistakes. On the other hand, the talk of crisis is manufactured and made up. And most Venezuelans, even if they oppose Maduro, do not want a U.S. engineered regime change. This
Stop. So even if they're like he's saying, look, they're probably not the. It's a government. These people that get in there, he's probably not the greatest for his people, but he says it's not what they're saying it is. It's a manufactured crisis. It's not to that degree. And later you're going to see he mentions it. If they just would lift the sanctions, the reason things are the way they are and tough decisions got to be made when you have sanctions like that. And then, of course, people are going to look at that figurehead. But he says that some people, they rather Maduro than somebody who's going to be a puppet for the U.S. Go ahead. Come on.
Wow. Complicated to figure out. The Trudeau, the resistance people, the people who are so naive that somehow they're able to rightly say that Donald Trump is a racist monster who rips children out of their parents' arms, all of a sudden, no, in Venezuela, I mean, obviously that would be the one case where, of course, there's genuine human concern here. And as evidenced by the fact that his point person is literally a ghoul going back to the 1980s who has done spin and cover for every type of death squad and mass murder imaginable in Latin America, not to mention also tremendously harmful work in the Middle East. Of course, I'm talking about Elliot Abrams. At least this administration, Amber Lee Frost had a great piece about why leftists don't like the New York Times, but we like the Financial Times. And one of the things she said was, the New York Times doesn't know that we're in a fight. Financial Times is on, I'm paraphrasing here, the Financial Times, they're on the different side of it, but at least they know we're in conflict here. So don't listen to the nonsense, Bill and Hillary Clinton tweeting out, but it's time for the Venezuelan people and blah, 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 all this nonsense. This is John Bolton telling you exactly what is going on with U.S. policy in Venezuela.
Good to hear. But do you not see that the United States support for other brutal dictators around the world undermines the credibility of the argument you're making?
No, I don't think it does. I think it's separate. And I think, look, in this administration, we're not afraid to use the phrase Monroe Doctrine. This is a country in our hemisphere. It's been the objective of American presidents going back to Ronald Reagan to have a completely democratic hemisphere.
There you go.
Wow. I think the word he was actually looking for was capitalist hemisphere.
Well, and also, the Tapper sure is right to point out the hypocrisy, but the appropriate follow-up question, which Tapper did not ask, is what about literally, again, over 49 coups, death squads. Your point person on Venezuela was lied to Congress about Iran-Contra, was involved in covering up some of the worst massacres in human history in El Salvador, a genocide in Nicaragua. How does that fit? But
This is all stuff done under the School of the Americas and the Monroe Doctrine and the Roosevelt Corollary. Go ahead, come on.
He said it. I mean, the first point was the important point. This is the Monroe Doctrine. It's our regional imperial hegemony. That's what this is about. And that's why, again, in a broader conversation, of course there should be a serious analysis of Venezuela. And of course anybody who tells you that there's no problems there and there's no corruption, there's no abuses is either being tremendously naive or hugely ideological or lying. But at the same time, you need to recognize the strategic context of what a U.S. intervention is. This is a U.S. government that even under Obama was already backing a coup in Honduras that removed a moderate Manuel Zelaya that culminated in the assassination of Alberta Cárdenas in 2015 by paramilitaries in a Honduran far-right government backed by us. This is a government that participated and backed the lawfare that made Lula a conciliatory social democrat who managed to deliver huge things for the Brazilian people while trying to strike deals with the oligarchs in his country and Western capital. But importantly, I do think refused to denationalize vital oil reserves. And I think that is where the relationship broke down. So be real, let alone when you're talking about Trump, who, again, as all resistance people constantly rightly say, is a racist monster who has no human concern for anybody. So the notion that all of a sudden it's like Trump just, it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't care, but when it comes to Venezuela, there's a lot of tens there. I really care about their well-being. If he cared about their well-being, incidentally, why is he deporting so many Venezuelans back to this hellhole? I mean, you think Venezuela is not part of this white supremacist war on people of color from Donald Trump's ICE regime? I mean, God, it's like in another context, I'll quote Ehud Olmert, like, well, you're being naive.
Well, I think this is the year when people have to say the quiet parts out loud and they have to say what they really mean and what they really believe about things. And this is another one of those instances where you can't be a fence sitter. There are two choices. There's Guaido, a representative of
So that was the guy that they were
neoliberalism.
supporting as in a coup against Maduro, right? Go ahead, come on.
And the ruling class that's going to impose further suffering, much worse than the Venezuelan people have seen so far. And there's Maduro, which is the other choice, which every leftist that I've spoken to from Venezuela has some form of critical support for Maduro because he's better than the alternative.
Well, and also, again, even I agree with that, and lift sanctions. I mean, that's the other
And that's
thing,
really
too,
what it
is
boils
you-
down to. They're in the condition that they're in because of the sanctions that he placed on them.
Right.
So whatever type of hard decisions got to be made, whatever's going on over there, they're being crushed because they have the largest oil reserve in the whole world. We've gone over it on the show. We've shown it, right? And they have the largest oil reserve in the world, and they want it. And that's that's the big resource that they want. Because they realize it'd be a little easier to deal with them than dealing with the Arabs and the Saudis and all that other stuff, right? Okay, come on.
You wanted an organic process where you could allow for a possibility of a left opposition to emerge without being suppressed, as it has been inside the Bolivarian movement by Maduro. You would lift sanctions, which is the primary cause. I mean, there's no doubt that there's a huge amount of corruption and mismanagement in the Venezuelan government, but the sanctions are overwhelming. You could actually contribute to an open society in Venezuela and the emergence of movements that are still democratic and autonomous inside this left formation.
Yeah, power to the communes.
Which could win, right, and that could actually be an alternative power source. But of course, that's literally the last thing that the United States government, or even, of course, obviously, again, not good faith people in Venezuela who are, and I know, it's not, I know people who's like, no, they don't support the opposition, but they don't support Maduro because things are not good, right? Fine. But they don't support U.S. intervention and they don't support Guaido, period. But you know, it goes without saying that there's the oligarchs and U.S. foreign policy do not want a democratic opposition to restore the Bolivarian movement. They want a right-wing pliant-client state where all of the problems will get even worse. I mean, you think that a right-wing Venezuelan U.S.-backed government is going to be, it's like, oh, yeah, we should clean up the cartel stuff. Yeah. You know, U.S. foreign policy in Latin America is known for cracking down on military abuses and drug trafficking.
He's being sarcastic.
That's right, exactly.
They're not, no, they're falling probably, they created those issues. Go ahead, come on.
You'll learn if you study U.S. history in Venezuela. So I think, yeah, the best case is to have a critical engagement and understand the Bolivarian movement and drill into Venezuela and think critically about it. But honestly, you could just, if you want to, you could just save yourself some time and say, I oppose a coup and an invasion, period. There's actually nothing more on a functional political level that you have to do.
Yep.
Because that's the bottom line right now.
This is another area where Bernie Sanders is far and away the best candidate for president.
Okay, stop. Yeah, so her voice annoys me. I didn't like anything that she was saying. So I laid all that. I'm gonna go into my verses in a second. I'm gonna step out for a second though. If y'all want to give some commentary while I do that real quick, because there was a lot said there, and there was a lot to be brought out based on what I laid out. But I'm gonna be right back in a second. Y'all could handle it for a few.
Yeah, and I was thinking about everything that I was seeing with the Seacop prison and all the intricacies that were showing based off the witnesses and all that. And it made me think about Daniel chapter 9, because as I was seeing it, bro, it was putting a spirit on me, bro. Like there's a certain anger that you should have, bro, and a certain affinity for your people, bro, that should enlighten you to want to bring this stuff out and go out and teach your people, man. Because when you look at all the stuff that's going on and how they're treating our people, and if you didn't know, the scriptures talk about us being in prison houses,
right?
And eventually the prophets being sent out to these particular places, prisons and so forth, and we will have to suffer the same things. But consider the plight of our people. Give me that in Daniel 9 and verse 12.
The book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured out upon us.
So we understand that the bad things that happened unto us was based off the curses. So we're not saying that some of these people deserve certain things based off the things that they've done. But I want you to get the point of what's going on. Come on.
And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him.
Verse 12.
And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us.
Watch what happened.
By bringing upon us a great evil.
By bringing upon us a great evil. Upon us a great evil. And the Lord is manifesting all this stuff to us. Remember, when Esau started to rule, evils increased on the earth.
Right.
How much the more now in this last captivity in Babylon the Great, where darkness is gross, where we are in that utter darkness, as darkness itself. Right, like it says in the book of Job. Right. All this stuff we're seeing, this should put a level of anger in you as you see what's going on with our people. Imagine sleeping on a metal plate. It says there's no toilet paper. It says that they had to eat with their hands. All this stuff that we hear, listen,
no airflow.
Listen, this is multiple witnesses saying this stuff.
Yeah.
I believe in some of the things that they're saying.
Right.
You understand? So it says here that he brought upon us a great evil. Go ahead.
For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem.
For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. All this stuff that we're reading, all this stuff that we're seeing is letting us know that because we broke the commandments of God, we suffer the most. I don't care about no doggone 9/11. I don't care about no doggone Holocaust and none of that, because all people have suffered the most. Absolutely.
And the Most High is saying, you can put up all the other nations of people that have gone through different atrocities. It doesn't compare to what the Israelites went to. So that's just point blank, period. Take it up with the Most High.
Now what's exactly. Now listen, I want you to jump back a Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. I want to talk about this Monroe Doctrine and the Roosevelt Culinary, right? Before Deacon comes. Watch this, verse 25.
The book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 25.
This is what this man did. Come on.
And through his policy.
And through Esau's policy, America, go ahead.
Also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
His policy is what? The Monroe Doctrine, the Roosevelt Corollary, all this stuff that he does that he's planned since way back. All this stuff he has caused craft to prosper in his hand. Come on.
And he shall magnify himself
And this
in
is
his
what
heart.
this is what the white man does. He magnifies himself in his heart. And going back to what Deacon was saying, and going back to what the scripture was saying about how he takes part of every captivity, this is what Nebuchadnezzar did as well. This is what the Epiphanies did as well. They all follow the same vein. Come on.
And by peace.
And by peace, because he comes in the name of peace. He got smooth words. Go ahead.
Shall destroy many.
He shall destroy many, meaning war is in his heart, meaning he's got the stick.
Right.
Though he walks as though he's subtle, though he's not going to cause any harm. Finish it off, priest.
He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand.
Because Christ's going to destroy him. But just showing you all what's going on and how it relates to the scriptures. And we should be, I was telling Deke, we should be upset at the fact that this is going on. This will make us go harder, especially for the Northern Kingdom as we see the stuff going on in Seacott.
Right. Absolutely. So I want to move into the biblical pattern.
Okay.
Biblical
I like how you
pattern.
did that.
Yeah.
All right. Of seeing the comparison of how empire, and this is brief because this is for radio show, right?
Right.
I could go a lot deeper. I go, yep. So keep that up. You can keep that up if you want to put us smaller and keep that bigger or whatever it is. We're not going to read all those verses. We're going to read some of them, but I'm going to read the verses that I got here, right? So this is the parallels reference chart, right? So the empire of Egypt, right, which we're going to read about in a second.
Put it on the screen.
What was their method of control? Slavery, forced labor, oppressive policies. What's the U.S. parallel? It was built on slavery and migrant labor.
Yeah.
Right.
Systemic control, same thing. Let's get Exodus 1 and 13.
Yo, D, that's some good stuff. That's
Man.
you made that joint?
Well,
I mean GPT.
I asked GPT to make it.
Yo, that's some good
Yeah.
stuff, man.
It made it there.
Yeah, we should post that actually.
Well, I'm telling you, it's so easy because I don't got to type.
Right.
I just talk.
You just talk into it.
I just talk into
So
it.
you've crossed over now, Deacon.
So it's like, no, so it's like I'm having a conversation.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
sit there, I'll have my scriptures, I'll have the things I want to reference, and I'll tell them how I want to lay it out and everything like that. And I say,
just does it.
I say, lay it out for me in a format that I could.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy work.
Dope. Go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 13.
Right, because America is sometimes referred to as Egypt as well, right? Go ahead. The shadow of Egypt as well. Go ahead. Come on.
And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
Slavery. Come on.
And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
Come on.
In mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field.
Come on.
All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
Right, so Egypt built its empire on slavery and oppression, just like America's foundation on chattel slavery and exploited labor, okay? Pharaoh feared Israel's growth, right? You read that in 9 through 10, right? Yeah. Exodus 1, 9 through 10. And he created policies to weaken them. Same like the Monroe Doctrine, right?
Yep, exactly.
They feared their ability to grow.
Yep.
And they said, we got to create policy, the Roosevelt Corollary, the Monroe Doctrine, okay, that's going to be able to keep them down. America did it with economic systems, immigration restrictions, and their policing of these countries, right? That's how it's set up. Same type of thing, all right? Now let's move on to Assyria. How are they similar to Assyria? Well, military domination, and they scattered nations, right? U.S. coups, IMF, International Monetary Fund, aid traps, military bases all over the world, all right? If you could look up that graphic, I should have told you ahead of time, the military bases all over the world, they have the most of any country, and then Britain's behind them, but far less. Like, it's not even, they second, but they like...
I think America's like 800 plus.
They like a distant second, all right? If you can find it, all right? Let's get Hosea 7 and 11. Let's read that real quick.
The book of Hosea, chapter 7 and verse 11. Ephraim also is like a silly dove without heart. They call to Egypt. They go to Assyria. When they shall go, I will spread my net upon them. I will bring them down as the fowls of the heaven.
Right. So listen, real quick. So the point that I want to bring from here is that there's complicity because a lot of these guys did go to the School of the Americas.
Yes, right.
A lot of them did go to WinSec. A lot of them do rely on and try to wait for the United States to do some stuff for them, right? Thinking that it's going to be, yet if you look at the history of all of Latin America, the Caribbean, it's been a constant thing of support and betrayal.
It's like
support
the rust.
and deny. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. Never trust thine enemy, right? And they kept dealing with them, right? Israel meaning Northern Kingdom, always looked to powerful nations for alliances, right? Only to be trapped and destroyed. Latin America mirrors that as well. Let's get Isaiah 30 and 1. Let's get Isaiah 30 and 1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit.
Come on.
That they may add sin to sin.
Read.
That walk to go down into Egypt.
Right, and this is what Northern Kingdom did, right? They sought to go after Egypt. Go ahead, come on. And we were always looking for alliances, right? That's it. So that's the military basis.
Oh my gosh.
Remember, similar to Assyria, similar to Egypt. But this was like Assyria's policy of domination, right? And that's all the bases all over the world. So so their Monroe Doctrine, the largest effect of it, they enforce much more locally here, right? But remember, the two continents where you have a large portion of our people, right, between Africa and South America, all right, and the Caribbean, you probably have that's the majority right there between Africa and South America,
right?
And both of those continents are dealt with very similarly.
Even with
very
the Suez
similarly.
Canal over in Africa.
With the Suez Canal in Africa, with all the different policies, with all the different genocide and everything,
resources,
right?
as you can find in South America.
America a little less so in Africa because Europe, they basically left them to Europe, right? But America was here dealing, but it's still their influence globally based on what you see in this picture with how they have these bases all over the world, right? It's kind of like, you about to know how quick we're going to be able to deploy and handle business, right?
850 bases in more than 90 countries.
That's insane.
That's probably increased now because this is an old thing here. So
Right.
it's
It
definitely
might be
increased.
more. 850 bases in more than 90 countries. That's insane. That's insane, right? Go ahead. Keep reading in Isaiah 30 and 2 again.
Verse 2. That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Right. So what's the result of trying to depend on that? Go ahead. Come on.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
Right. And that's what
when
you
they
see.
turn against them.
Exactly. Go ahead. Come on.
For princes were
For his princes.
For
Damn.
his
Oh, what's
princes.
wrong with you? Need classes?
Hopefully not.
You've been doing that like more frequently lately.
Yeah, you want to win?
Today's crazy, bro.
Yeah, he been missing words.
You want to win?
Crazy.
Hey, yo.
Go ahead. Come on.
Verse 4. For his princes were at Zoan, and his ambassadors came to Hain.
Come on.
They were all ashamed of a people that could not profit them, nor be an help nor profit, but a shame and also a reproach.
Right. So a shame and also a reproach. Jump to verse. Jump to verse 8.
Verse 8. Now go, write it before
Actually,
them.
read 7.
Verse 7. For the Egyptians shall help in vain, and to no purpose. Therefore have I cried concerning this. Their strength is to sit still.
We have to stop looking to the other nations for salvation. Now, it's a little hard the way the world's set up, governments are set up and things like that. But there's a lot of power in what we do as we unite as a people, right? And that's what the Lord's looking for. Don't think like you're going to see big governmental changes in any of the countries that we're in, right? It's going to be a movement that happens from the ground up as we keep and repent.
Heavy stuff.
Right? Go ahead, come on.
Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever.
Right, you're going to see this cyclical pattern. There's never going to be a nation that's going to be able to help us, and we always went after them to try to seek amity with them. Go ahead, come on.
That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Speak unto us smooth things. Prophesy deceit.
By the way, Isaiah 30 and 10 is also known as athlete mode for the ones that don't need to be on athlete mode, right? It says, see not my real body fat. Prophesy not unto me right things.
Damn.
Right?
That's
Speak
crazy
unto
word.
me smooth things
Damn it.
with an athlete mode body fat. But go ahead, come on.
Verse 11, get you out of the way. Turn aside out of the path. cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before.
Right. So we want to. We don't want the scriptures. We don't want none of that stuff. We want to move away from that. All right. Let's look at the parallels with Babylon. Right. Method of control. Lots of wealth. Lots of arrogance. They had global reach. Right. U.S. military in it says 80 plus countries. We had the graphic that said 90 plus. All right.
90.
Global dominance. That's that graphic again. Okay. Let's get Habakkuk 2 and 5. Habakkuk 2 and 5. See, this was my core scripture, and that's what I built the class around. I started with this.
Oh, Habakkuk 2.
Yep. And I said, damn. I said, this thing, it started me thinking.
No, you cooked on this.
Go ahead, come on.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine.
Come on.
He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire.
How proud can you be to say what we saw in the Monroe Doctrine? What they said in the Roosevelt Corollary,
right?
That we have a right that if you guys are impotent or you can't or there's corruption or whatever going on, we have a right to come into your sovereign country.
Yep.
And we gonna
And
handle
take your
business
stuff,
over
right.
it.
Right.
Go ahead, come on.
And is as death.
And what did they bring? Death. They trained them. You had death squads. It brought death and destruction to our people. Go ahead, come on.
And cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Right. So remember, Babylon was wealthy, arrogant, and far-reaching as well, just like America's military bases in over 90 nations. Right. Let's get Daniel 6 and 8, dealing with the Persian Medes. Right. Let's look at that.
The book of Daniel, chapter 6 and verse 8. Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, that it be not changed according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not.
Right, which altereth not. Persia, so he uses Persia as an example here, right? And he said, what did Persia do? They ruled by law and decree, and it bound all nations under their control, right? Today, America uses what? Sanctions, international courts, and trade rules. Remember, we spoke about the thing in Venezuela. A lot of these countries that are jacked up is because of the sanctions that they put on them.
Right.
And don't just think sanctions. Look at the stuff that they're doing with tariffs as well, right?
Yep.
That's a more, it seems like a more passive way. And it's like, well, we have a right to do this, that, and the other.
Right.
Right?
You're impotent.
Right, but that's exactly because you're impotent, you're out of control, right? So what it does is it binds nations to its will, right? You see these patterns of how they ruled and how they did stuff, and America embodies all of them. Little by little, it deals with all of them. Let's get Esther 1 and 1.
Apocrypha or?
No, I think Esther in the Bible.
Got it.
Not the rest of Esther. That wouldn't be 1. Wouldn't that be 9 technically? The rest of Esther. Doesn't it start at 9?
Yeah, it starts at 10 or 9. Yeah.
Right? 10.
10.
You said Esther 1 and what?
Esther 1 and 1.
The book of Esther, chapter 1 and verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus. This is Ahasuerus, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia, over 127 provinces.
So 127 provinces was the reach. Okay,
Ethiopia to
That's
India.
a
That's
lot
a
of
long
land.
of the Persians,
way.
right? It was the reach of the Persians, right?
Jesus.
So think about that. Same like America. Global dominance through finance, law, and their military bases. Same thing, right? And again, this is just quick little hits to show you similarities of how they do with that, right? So rigid decrees, the laws of the Medes. So you have the sanctions, the trade law, the IMF, the World Bank, all these things together, right? Now, Greece. This is when it starts getting much more recognizable, right? Let's deal with Greece, right? So Greece, forced culture. That's the Hellenism. That's going to be the bulk of what I go over.
Democracy, yeah.
Laws will life last when I deal with that, right? And then from Hellenism, I'm going to bring it all the way up, and you'll see elements of what we're talking about here. But laws will life last. When I do that, I'll be able to show more examples specifically of the countries. I think in that class I did, I started to talk about DR. There was more I wanted to show.
So much more.
Like a lot of people didn't know that DR, they had ships around them ready to invade them in the 60s.
Damn.
A lot of people don't remember that, right? So it says forced cultural assimilation, which is Hellenization, right? The spread of U.S. culture, media, and education is Americanism, right? It's very similar. Let's start at 2 Maccabees 4 and 10. 2 Maccabees 4 and 10. We're going to stay in Maccabees for a little bit. We're going to jump around, show some different examples.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 10. which when the king had granted, and he had gotten into his hand the rule, he forthwith brought his own nation to the Greekish fashion.
Right. And you see a lot of that in Latin America and in a lot of countries in the world, right? But go ahead, come on.
And the royal privileges granted of special favor to the Jews by the means of John, the father of Eupolemus, who went ambassador Rome for amity and aid. He took away, and putting down the governments which were according to the law, he brought up new customs against the law.
Right, and we see a lot of that in our travels when we go to Central and South America. A lot of that influence of Americanism, you find it all over the place over there, right? Go ahead, look at
Mexico
Chile,
City.
and look at
and
Chile.
Chile. Yes.
Remember how much?
Yes.
I mean, you know, Mexico City, it was a lot worse because the attitude I think was there too.
Yeah, a lot of
in
homos
Chile, they were a little chill as far as their demeanor and stuff like that.
Right.
But they loved everything American.
Yeah, they
remember all the malls
The
and everything
mall.
like that, the Starbucks all over the place. I mean, that benefited us having some Starbucks.
Yeah. But no, but the point is there. They were
right?
very influenced.
Go ahead, come on, read.
Verse 12. For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under his subjection, and made them wear a hat. Now such was the height of Greek fashions, and increase of heathenish manners, through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that ungodly wretch, and no high priest.
What you're reading now is the School of the Americas.
Right, that's right.
How they
That's what
went
I
in,
say,
they
yeah.
infiltrated somebody, and they supported him to
Yes.
bring them to the Greekish fashion.
Right.
To bring them to the Greekish
Bring the
custom.
people of the land.
It's the
Use them
same
against
thing.
us.
It's
Yes.
the same thing, like what we read with the Monroe Doctrine, the Roosevelt Corollary, the School of the Americas,
And
right?
the same people.
And the same people. Go ahead, come on.
Verse 14. That the priests had no courage to serve any more at the altar, but despising the temple and neglecting the sacrifices, hasten to be partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise, after the game of discus called them forth.
Read on.
Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
Right, but they liked the glory of the Grecians best of all. They wanted that. They sought for that. You see all those parallels. Read 16. Go ahead, come on.
Verse 16. By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them.
What was the
Calamity and
result?
tyranny.
Yeah, calamity and tyranny. Go ahead, come on.
For they had them to be their enemies and avengers.
So they thought that they were their friends, but they're their enemies
The
and their
Rus.
avengers. The Rus. Go ahead, come on.
Whose custom they followed so earnestly.
They were everybody's seeking
They were
after them,
sold.
but these guys, they show their ass all the
Right.
time. Their tongue falls upon themselves. Go ahead, come on.
And unto whom they desired to be like in
And they
all
still
things.
But
wanna be
despite
like
all
us.
that, they still want to be like that in all things. Let's get
Damn.
First Maccabee 1:41. First Maccabee 1:41. Same thing. Remember, he said starting with Reagan, he said we want all of them to be democratic.
Right.
Allegedly. Go ahead, come on.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
Come on.
And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
And they do that by supporting those. They back the ones that's going to go with their program until a different interest comes up, and then they'll support a coup to take them down. Go ahead, come on.
Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
Come on.
And sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days.
Come on.
And pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation.
And this is why it's so important that the ministry that we do, and we go out there and we reach these people and we give them this, they're not getting this type of information. They're getting the same thing that they got over and over, starting with what we read in Wisdom of Solomon 14 in the beginning. They're getting white Jesus, Catholicism, Christianity, and under that, they're under a great war of ignorance. We got to go and pull them out of that, right? Because historically, we have this horrid history of the way like it's been nothing but, if you think about it, in modern history, from the arrival of the conquistadors up until today, it's just been oppressive.
Yeah, there's nothing good has happened.
And if you think about it, it was only such a small dispensation of time, right? From what was it? It was around 500 something BC, we estimate, right? That we came over this way, right? More or less. I think if I got my numbers
like
all right.
400 something BC. Yeah, you're
right. Right. And then to 1492.
Yeah.
Right. So you're looking at what? 1,500 years, right? Am I right? Was it 1,000?
Like that. I'm not sure.
I'm trying to think because I know BC counts down. That's 5. And then another 14, right? So 2,000, no, like 2,000 years. Right?
Damn.
Wouldn't that be 2,000?
Yes.
2,000 years, right? So you got 2,000 B years. So you got 2,000 years where we had a little dispensation. So in the history of the world, right, 2,000, you want to count the time when we had the United Kingdoms under Israel. The majority of our history, we've been in calamity, we've been in distress, we've been under tyranny. Over and over and over, right? Let's get 2nd Maccabees 6 and 1. 2nd Maccabees 6 and 1. 2nd Maccabees 6, and I want to start at 1.
The book of 2nd Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 1.
We're showing you the parallels. We're showing you the parallels, right? Go ahead, come on.
Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of God.
Same MO, same MO. Go ahead, come on.
And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympius, and that in Gerizim of Jupiter, the defender of strangers, as they did desire that dwelt in the place. The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people.
Read.
For the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles, who dallied with harlots, and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy
That
places.
made me think of the prostitution that we see when we travel, how prevalent it is, right? Them customs are still there to this day, right? Go ahead, come on.
And besides that, brought in things that were not lawful. The altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbiddeth. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Right, and what you see is the escalation of it in these last days is that we're telling them you're the Israelites, you're the people that the Bible speaks of, and many of them are astounded.
Yeah.
And then we connect the dots for them, but all praises for the most part has been very positive experiences with us as we go out there. It's slow grinding work, but that's because even though we've expanded with Spanish speakers and teachers and evangelists, there's still so much more work to do, and we still need more laborers.
That's right.
We still need more laborers to go and undo millennia.
Millennia,
for sure.
straight up.
Millennia of conditioning and all this stuff, because in the spirit, and sometimes directly, it's been the same people. It's been the same people from the Greeks on, and it's been the same spirit.
That's right.
It's transgenerational trauma.
Right. Which goes what we went over last week, right? Go ahead, come on, keep reading.
Verse 7, and in the day of the king's birth, every month they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus carrying ivy.
Right, so like that they had that mishmash of that festival we saw in Chile.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
they said it was about this, it was about indigenous stuff, but it was also about the Catholicism and Maria.
Yeah.
And it was just, you could tell it was just like, let's just smash whatever we can into one thing and say it's our culture.
Yeah, and it was going back to where we saw the harlots and all that, the way they were dressed. So all that's been just
all of that. We bore witness to it. Go ahead, come on.
Verse 8, moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices.
Come on.
And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death. Then might a man have seen the present misery.
So is this like their version of the Monroe Doctrine and the Culinary? Isn't that
Roosevelt
Culinary that
Yep.
came after
exact same thing, and that's the parallels that we're showing, right? Let's get Luke 20 and 22.
That was the stick.
Luke 20 and 22.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 20 and verse 22.
It used to be a salve. What did he put? Oh, he deleted it. I guess he realized. I don't know. Shire typed something. And he did. I guess he realized he didn't type it right, so he deleted it. Luke 20 and 22. It used to be a salve. A salve of what? Luke 20 and 22.
Is it lawful for us to give tribute unto Caesar or no?
Uh-huh.
But he perceived their craftiness and said unto them, Why tempt ye me? Show me a penny. Whose image and superscription hath it? They answered and said, Caesar's. And he said unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which be Caesar's, and unto God the things which be God's.
Right? And unto God the things which be God. So what we saw with the Greeks, okay, was that America does the same thing through culture, media, and education, right? Same type of thing in modern times, and what they did with the Monroe Doctrine and everything else, right? And then also, it started under the Greeks as well. Israel was under taxation, occupation, and puppet rulers.
That's right.
Like Herod, right?
Out.
And the Herodians.
Agrippa, yep.
The same as U.S.-backed regimes, all right? The same as U.S.-backed regimes. Let me get the Pax Romana. I want to show that real quick. We're going to come back and we'll be Roman all together in a second, but the Pax Romana. So you got Greece, you got Rome, okay? The tributes to Caesar dealing with Rome. Pax Romana. Let's read this real quick.
The Pax Romana, Latin for Roman peace, IPA, is a roughly 200-year-long period of ancient Rome that is identified as a golden age of increased and sustained Roman imperialism.
And just like you have American imperialism, this is America's golden age. I did a class a couple years back on the show, and I was going over the age of decadence, right? I was showing how there's a decline that happens, and
that's right.
And you know, a decline that is not necessarily 50 years or whatever, right? In Rome's case, they declined after this, which is what we're gonna read. But this was it. This was the pinnacle of what they did, and after that, it was decline, right? It reminds me of Thessalonians, where it says when they say peace and safety, right?
Then shall sudden destruction.
Then shall sudden destruction come. Now, when you think about that, this is a parallel to what people think about America at this time, right? And it could be 50 more years, it could be 200 more years, Lord knows, right? But the point is, you see that similarities, because you would say any wars that America's been in, it's been the ones that they've inserted themselves into for ulterior purposes.
Right.
There's not been a great war to defend America or anything like that, right?
No.
So I'm gonna show you. We're at a very similar point in history where Rome was at its peak and America's at its peak. Right? Go ahead.
Prosperous stability, hegemonic power, regional expansion.
So when you deal with hegemony or hegemonic power, it just means they're the bully. They're the ones that have the control and therefore the influence to say. That's the easy way to understand it. Go ahead, come on.
Regional expansion and relative peace and order.
Right, relative peace and order. Right, go ahead, come on.
Although it still featured a number of internal revolts and external wars.
And they know this, right? This is why Trump, what's all this BS that he wants the Nobel Peace Prize? He's trying to be the president of peace. He's inserting himself and taking credit for ending certain wars and things like that, right? Like, you got to see the stuff spiritually, what's going on and what happened in these times. And you got to understand some history to know that, right? Go ahead, come on.
Including the Roman-Persian wars. Traditionally, the onset is understood to be the ascent of Augustus, who also founded the Roman Principate in 27 BCE. Conversely, the end of the era is considered as 180 CE, with the death of Marcus Aurelius, the last of the 5 good empires.
And they dramatized that in the movie Gladiator, right? Yep. And that's when his son comes into power instead, right? Go ahead, come on.
It was as part of this period that the Roman Empire achieved its greatest territorial extent under
Trajan
in 117 CE.
Right. So you're seeing an America at its pinnacle and the parallels of Rome at its pinnacle. Go ahead, come on.
Additionally, the Roman Empire's population is estimated to have peaked at 70 million people during the Pax Romana, accounting for 33% of the world's population. Following the Pax Romana, and according to Cassius Dio, the dictatorial reign of Commodus.
That was Commodus. That was in the movie. That was Joaquin Phoenix that played that character, right? Go ahead, come on.
Later followed by the year of 5 emperors and the crisis of the 3rd century, marked Rome's descent from a kingdom of gold to one of iron and rust.
Right, and that's what you read in Obadiah,
Right,
where it says you'll
Obadiah.
be stubble.
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
That's eventually what's going to happen. So you see these parallels, right? I bring out the Pax Romana so you can understand and see where we're at. Go back to the graph that I had, the table, the reference table, right? So we had read in Luke as the example for Rome, right? And there's much more that shows Roman examples, but that taxation, the occupation, the puppet rulers, you have puppet governments, foreign taxation systems. Altogether, it's a combination of all, right? U.S. as an empire without borders. Let's get Revelation 18:3 so that you can see that. Come on.
The book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Right. So they were all part of it. They
One
were
consent.
all part in one consent, right? So let's put it together. Like Egypt, America's like Egypt, founded on slavery and oppression, right? Like Assyria, scattering and crushing weaker nations. Like Babylon, wealthy, proud, gathering all nations under one system. Like Persia, enforcing global laws, decrees, and economic sanctions. Like Greece, spreading its culture and philosophy to reshape others. That's the Hellenism and the Americanism, right? They said, we ain't gonna follow one of these tactics. They said all of these had something they specialized in. We can take all of them and maintain dominance. And like Rome, ruling through taxation, military occupation, and puppet governments. That's what we just read in Revelation 18 and 3, right? So what's the result, right? Migration, poverty, destabilized nations, families broken, tortures in prisons like we just saw. Just as Israel was scattered by Assyria, enslaved in Egypt, ruled under Rome, and exiled in Babylon, right? But the Bible says, right, that there'll be no more empires, right? Let's get that one. Is it in Daniel, in the days of those kings? Right? No empire lasts forever. Egypt fell, Assyria fell, Babylon fell, Persia, Media fell, Greece fell, Rome fell, and so too will America. It's prophesied, right? It is prophesied in the scripture, right? But let's get this one first, and then I want Isaiah 10 and 5.
Where is it at? Daniel
Is it
12?
2?
Is it 11 or?
I think I always thought it was in 2. Isn't it in 2?
I think it is. Let me see.
Hold on.
I think it's yes, 44.
244? Yep, go ahead.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
Right, so you're seeing that, and that's what's going to happen in these last days. Let's get Isaiah 10 and 5.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 5. O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation.
It's mine indignation. Go ahead, come on.
I will send him against an hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge, to take the spoil and to take the prey, and to tread them down like the mire of the streets.
Right, so it's just telling you some examples of what's going to happen, how it's going to be cut off, the rod of his anger. All of these things are going to be dealt with. There's more scriptures that I can give, but it's already 10:12. All right. We've been at it for 3 hours. Okay. I always try to do less than 3 hours, but it seems like we've settled in on like 3 hours.
Yeah, no, I think it's plus every time. Man. I don't think we can even say that anymore.
Right.
I think it's
no. And there was a lot more that I could have and I wanted to bring out, but think about it, right? So when we talk about U.S. influence, think about that Monroe Doctrine to the Roosevelt Corollary, those things, you'll hear me drop the name of it, but and I've spoken about it in different respects, but like I said, Lord's War, I want to do like a deep. I want to use some of Bishop's book when I do the Hellenism class and whatever and stuff like that to go over it as well, right? You got the Monroe Doctrine, the Roosevelt Corollary, and the School of the Americas. Think of those three as the main thing that really pushed them and established them as the world power that they are today, right? So we're not just talking about that history, we're talking about that prophecy. And it's like hard to see it sometimes unless you kind of able to make the connections, right? Remember I said the Bible affirms those other things. Who would think that those were biblical type events, right?
Yeah,
People look at it from a world history
exactly.
perspective, and they don't look at it that way, right? So America's that same empire without borders, right? And just like all those empires end, this empire is going to end too, right?
That's right. That's right.
Ain't got anything else?
I had one thing. It's real quick. Can we get that that table back up?
Oh, should I put the celebration in Chile?
Yeah.
Yeah, we mentioned it. Right?
Because now I was looking at how America is like Egypt, right? Is based on slavery. The funds that they got in their coffers from all the slave labor is what allowed them to expand their militaries, what allowed them to go into different countries and basically create this world domination that they have right now.
Yeah, how they built upon them, right?
Correct.
So you see all those steps that were taken is really they basically took the method of control of each of those empires
Right.
and
Right.
implemented them step by step.
That's
right.
it.
It was literally in that order, if you
Yep.
look at it,
They
right?
had a vision.
It started with the slavery, the forced labor, oppressive policies, right? Then they moved to that military domination and scattering nations. Then they built up their wealth. Arrogance, global reach came after that. Now we could back it up, right?
Right.
Then they started doing their foreign policies, right? Where there's other foreign policies too, right? They had closed door, open door, different things that they did, isolationism, all these different things, right? And then once they got to that point, they implemented they played the Greek playbook,
Right.
Which was the Hellenism and the Americanism. And then once they did that, now tariffs, taxation, all these, you need us.
Yeah.
Right.
And you want us at the table. Think about it. Oh, this is the part that I didn't put out. It's not just taxation. You're like, foreign nations don't pay taxes to the U.S. Tariffs, okay, but tariffs, the people that bring the stuff in pay it. The world's currencies are based off the flow of the U.S. dollar.
Right. There's the
They
influence
made
there.
their currency the world currency. That's the part I forgot with that render to Caesar. Whose picture is on
yeah,
this.
that's right.
Even though every country has their own money, except Ecuador, they use U.S. dollars. They have a currency, but it's so crazy. I think it's like 23,000 for every dollar.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
imagine
remember.
walking
It's
around with
crazy work.
23,000 of whatever they call it. I forgot what
Yeah.
it's called. That's why the food's so cheap over there. It's probably some of the one of the cheaper
it's
places
so
where they have
cheap.
it, right?
Man.
Think of how the dollar runs the current. Everything's based off the U.S. dollar, and that's why he doesn't want BRICS and another currency to come out and things like that, right? They made it, and there's some more nuance to that. I'm rushing through it of how they manipulated it so that it's basically the agreement is in all the world trade agreements is that the dollar's the benchmark.
They stopped Africa too, remember?
Yes.
From
The dollar's the benchmark. And that's why they'll defend and they'll fight that the dollar is the benchmark. And that's really the of how they rule like Rome in these last days, right? With that extensive power. Of course, some other similarities, the expansion, the bases, all that stuff. A lot of them had that type of methodology. But I'm glad you went back to this. When in the parallels, if you think about it, it went in order. So they basically at one time or another implemented everything that all these empires did.
Right.
But they did it successively, systematically,
Yeah.
and they built upon it, and that's what makes them the world power that they are
That's
today.
warfare.
These last
That's
days.
it.
Yep.
This
Dang,
last
that's a master
kingdom.
of the sword.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right, let's do the closing housekeeping.
All right. Hey, first and foremost, put some flames if you enjoyed the topic tonight. Put some flames if you learned something. I got to say for myself, this so far has been my favorite, just based off all the stuff that came out. Like all this stuff, like I didn't have too much like understanding in the Monroe Doctrine. I didn't even know there was a follow-up with the Roosevelt Culinary. Now I know. I'm going to add that to my studies. And whenever it's time to bring it out in the streets or whatever, it's going down. I love the graph that you set up. That's some good stuff. That's some
that's
good
a nice little quick reference.
stuff.
See it, yeah.
And I know there's so much more to bring out. That's why I'm just like, it's
That was
crazy.
just that
It's a lot of stuff.
Butter.
So check it out, man. We're seeking your assistance.
These guys suck with the sound bites for like.
Oh my
Bro,
God.
they're terrible, man.
They might have been zoned in, but
They really
you're supposed
are.
to be zoned into the show.
Nah, they're zoned in. There's no excuses. We got the doggone thing, but there's no good sound effects.
So since you're about to review them,
Right.
That's what this QR code is for.
Right.
Get in there and get it. There were hardly any bombs, hardly any nothing.
Like at the end of class, there should be bombs, like a mad bomb.
Like look, like I get it, right? I don't like it overdone. You
Right,
know?
right,
Like sometimes-
right.
Like sometimes
Like
on
too
the
much is
national
crazy.
broadcast, they just
Right.
doing it all the time, and it's like,
Yeah, it gets
But
dull.
damn, like 0-2, like find
Find a balance, goddamn.
Find the Goldilocks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Remember Goldilocks?
The port?
Too cold,
Mhm.
too hot,
too
just
hot.
right.
That's right.
Yeah, that was right.
Can you find the just right IT?
Dang it.
And then we got the plans that we got, and it's gonna
I
be
know.
whack.
Oh God, you can't be.
You
doing
guys
that.
don't deserve it. You guys don't deserve
Yeah.
what I'm setting up for y'all.
Damn it.
Guys don't deserve it.
You haven't come to the full stature.
Right now,
I'm gonna figure out how to have AI run the show.
Damn it.
his GPT's gonna do it.
GPT gonna do it.
Dang. We get more flames from the people than we do from the
it
ITs.
Sarai said maybe they're taking notes.
Yeah, whatever.
They've been doing that every week.
You're right. This ain't the time
Their
for
job
that.
is not to take notes.
Yeah, man.
Your job is to hit that butter.
That's right. That's right.
What else we got? What
Come
else we
on
got? Let's wrap up.
Neek.
Oh, that's me?
That's you,
Hey,
man. That's you.
donate to the Booster Club.
Yeah.
All right. You see me, they giving the tate quieto.
Yeah.
Gotta do it, nigga.
You better do it now. You can text to give or scan that QR code. All right. Every time these things come out, you got to think of it in terms of more work that we got to do. All right. And I tell you, Booster Club, it's one of the most transparent things that you see. And it's not just the travels that we take. We support constant radio shows and contact over there.
Right.
It helps us fund the schools and the things that they need over there as well. Very different dynamic. If you've not traveled, I don't think you can fathom how different it is economically, technology-wise, even for our people. I mean, whenever we in Latin America, like you can't even put toilet paper down the toilet.
Man.
You got to wipe and throw it in the
Mexico,
trash.
yeah, Mexico had me
No,
jacked up.
but it's everywhere we go.
Oh, my
I mean, in the hotel, I do it anyway. I'm just so used to it.
Yeah,
like, you know? But we need help. Support the Booster Club. All right, hook it up.
Them little ass elevators.
Little ass elevators, right? Go ahead, come on.
Oh shoot.
Hey, check this out. Go to originalroyalty.com. Y'all do realize we got our own clothing brands, right? Support the troops. The money that you put into this, it helps push the missions all across the globe. So we can let our people know who we are and who we be, which is the Israelites. All right? Go to originalroyalty.com.
Hey, did we get the new complimation with the new shirts with the tribes yet?
What you mean?
No, like one like this, but
Like
with the
that,
new
but with the
shirts.
tribes.
We do have one. And
We should
it'll
do
be on
that
the
next week.
Yeah, it'll be on there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we do.
Remember,
have
he needed ginkgo biloba today.
one. I did.
I don't know. Were you in there?
I
Oh,
did.
you're not in the planning
he's not
chat,
in
are
there.
you?
Uh-uh.
You're in the
No.
planning chat.
I need ginkgo biloba.
He was a
I don't
little
know
slow
what that is.
today. It's to help with brain health.
Yeah.
What else we got? What else we got?
All right. And make sure that you scan the QR code, see us on the Power Plus on Instagram. You know, we all over social media. Like I said, I still ain't seen no comments.
Especially the gram. Like you
The
know what I'm
gram is
saying?
popping.
Yeah, but I'm saying we got 30 subscribers on
Yeah,
IUIC
man.
Phoenix, but the gram only got like what, 1,800, 1,500, something like that.
Yeah, the
Check it out.
gram don't got too much.
I mean, that ain't too shabby. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But you know,
Could be better.
could be better. Hook it up. Hook it up.
And also, go to the next one real quick. Yeah, and also follow us on Instagram. How much we got right now? Let me see how we.
Well, that was Instagram, but we're saying follow us on TikTok.
Yeah, everything.
And YouTube.
Everything.
Yeah.
Right,
All the
YouTube.
socials.
Look, and listen, you on Instagram, it should be both. We got the Power Hour and you got IUIC
Exactly.
Phoenix.
Right.
Hook
Exactly.
it up. Hook
Both
it
of
up.
them. Both.
Hook it
Both.
up.
of them.
Both of them.
Look it up. I'm gonna go have a protein shake on my drive home.
Yeah.
I gotta hit my protein,
My man.
and I want to hit the comma without any
Yeah.
issues. So
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
All right.
I gotta lose weight, so I'm good on my calories right now.
Yeah, man.
I had like 1,400, so I'm good. Usually I do 1,800.
No, you're gonna go home and stuff your.
Well,
face
usually
or
I do
something.
18. No, I'm not. I gotta get rid of the,
Yeah.
the tatas.
Some chest fat.
Yeah, I gotta get rid of the
Some chest fat?
The chest fat.
You gonna be on athlete mode.
No. I'm not on the Isaiah 30.
Isaiah 30:10.
Yeah,
Isaiah
yeah,
30:10. Shalom, family. Stay in the spirit. Stay safe.
Shalom.
Most High, Christ bless.
Shalom.
This for the Southern Kingdom, Kwam Yasharallah. Hey, one nation, one nation. This for the Northern Kingdom, Viva la Raza. We one nation, one nation. This for the Southern Kingdom, Kwam Yasharallah. Hey, one nation, one nation. This for the Northern Kingdom, Viva la Raza. We one nation, one nation. It wouldn't be Israel without Mexicans. Black love, brown pride, cause we next to kin. We ain't gotta tell Esau to let's be friends, cause we above all nations and we better than them. We the salt of the earth, ayy, ayy. And we been king since birth, ayy, ayy. We put the kingdom first, ayy, ayy. And they gon' get this work, ayy, ayy. We was chosen, not cause we the most of the people. Few in numbers, but we over the people. We gods of this earth, we ain't supposed to be equal. Stop playing, you emotional.
the people, the good gotta triumph over the evil. So my foot's on the throat of the eagle. Their tongues will confess that we the people. Cause my nation ain't never been feeble.